Wednesday night, same old flame, GT3 lined up, ready to roll. Wheeling my hands tight on the brake, full throttle nation, got a hold on my soul. Lights go green and I'm gone, heel toe singing all night long. Tight little pack in the final bend, if you blink once, that's where it ends. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation, hey. Ultimate GT challenge, 12 weeks, one crown to claim. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation. Come on, Motor Mouth Broadcasting, talking that race day flame. iRacing screen glare on the dash, push to the curb, let the rear end dance. Leg brake heroes that come and go, but I keep it smooth in the second place fight. Pit wall buzz in the tire sing, one more lap can change everything. Clean hands, hard lines, hold your nerve. That checkered flag is mine if I deserve. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation, hey. Ultimate GT challenge, 12 weeks, one crown to claim. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation. Come on, Motor Mouth Broadcasting, talking that race day flame. From week 1 to week 12, we earn each inch, we test ourselves. Door to door and tooth to tooth, Texas grit and a digital booth. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation, hey. Ultimate GT challenge, 12 weeks, one crown to claim. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation. Come on, Motor Mouth Broadcasting, talking that race day flame. Wednesday night, same old flame, GT3 lined up, ready to roll. Wheeling my hands tight on the brake, full throttle nation, got a hold on my soul. Lights go green and I'm gone, heel toe singing all night long. Tight little pack in the final bend, if you blink once, that's where it ends. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation, hey. Ultimate GT challenge, 12 weeks, one crown to claim. Full throttle nation, full throttle nation. Come on, Motor Mouth Broadcasting, talking that race day flame. iRacing screen glare on the dash, push to the curb, let the rear end dance. Leg brake heroes that come and go, but I keep it smooth in the second place fight. Pit wall buzz in the tire sing, one more lap can change everything. Clean hands, hard lines, hold your nerve. That check
Hello everybody, welcome to the final round of the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship here this season from Spa. The last 12 weeks have taken us all across the world in GT3 racing for mostly 60-minute races. Well, that changes tonight, but we do return to a very familiar racetrack. The Spa-Francorchamps circuit going to be playing host to the final round of the season. And it's a 90-minute race as well, so plenty of different format changes and little quirks with the with that fact as well, heading into this final round of the season. It's myself, Ian O'Leary, Hamish Monroe and Jim Cunningham in commentary for you in this extended broadcast here tonight. And pertinent this week as well, Hamish, that we come to Spa because this is the week of the Spa 24 Hours in iRacing, starting just a couple of days' time now on Saturday. A good test for all these drivers to get some more practice in. Not that they'll be particularly unfamiliar with Spa anyway, and I'm sure they will. Some of them anyway will have been doing some practice for the 24 prior to this in any case. But it's a good week to come here when everybody is all getting ready for that big race.
Well, yeah, well, that's right, Ewan, and of course, great to be back here with you once again. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps obviously is one of those crown jewel circuits in the world of racing, isn't it? And thinking about, leading up for this week for that Spa 24-hour that is coming up, of course. I'll put this out there. There is no shame to backing out of the race when you crash into the wall at 4:30 in the morning at Blanchimont, as someone who's done that before. Just want to put that out there to the drivers. But one thing we do know is there's plenty of places around here which is going to catch drivers out of course that could have some effects on certain championship positions as well, as we'll check out the points and see where everybody lies coming into this final round. A very interesting race last time out that has then switched up some of the points a little bit, but 136 points will separate Daniel Schmall and Robert Williams at this stage, with Jed Cotterman in P3. So that's Daniel Schmall's championship pretty much won now at this point, it seems, Ewan, based on the mathematics. And then John Voight, Harrison Holiday, Norman Padovani, Troy Anderson, Justin Bock, David Steiner, Scott Mary, the top 10. But yeah, I think that championship, relatively speaking, is pretty well locked out.
Absolutely, and so are the others really. I think realistically, I'm not sure about absolutely mathematically to say definitively, but I'm pretty sure. Carl Dersham is leading by 121 in front of Oliver Brooks. Corey Patton fairly comfortable in third. The gaps between all the top three fairly large. Matt Laslis and Young Delv has really been romping through the rest of the field, to be honest, up into the top five of the Pro-Ams now. Timothy Schaefer is only just in front of Richard Silver, Jordan Cox. Jason Holland and Guillermo Seguenza is then rounding out the top 10. And then in the AMS, a very deserving championship for Jonathan Swan, who's raced brilliantly this season, I've thought. Looking forward to seeing him next season, perhaps move up to the Pro-Ams, normally what happens. But anyway, he's on 7.42, way in front of Chris Grondin, who's only just in front of Brian Lavrisa, so good fight for second tonight, potentially. Aidan Kiley and Oliver Homer round out the top five. Greg Lawrence, Mark Ossier, Herschel Lawrence, Carlo Covington and Philip Caffrey rounding out the field. All pretty close, actually, fourth on back. The top three have really rather raced away. And in the last few weeks, John Swan has properly got himself away from the rest, and he's underscored that with the final pole position in the final qualifying of this season as well, by the way, which is just underway for the pros and half the Pro-Am field, hence why you can see the mad dash to get back out there onto the racetrack again, or indeed for the first time I should say, and qualify for the next 10 minutes. Jim Cunningham's with us here as well. As we've been saying, it's a pertinent week to come here to Spa, and it feels like a lot of these drivers are going to be using this as preparation on top of what they've already done for the 24-hour race. Those two teammates who've just hit each other should probably sort that out by Saturday. But anyway, they'll have to tow back to pit lane. That was pretty embarrassing. But we've levelled up our BOP here for this race here, Jim, with the Spa 24 BOP that we're going to see at the weekend. So we've been sent a table with the pluses and minuses. I've got to say it's more minuses than pluses, to be honest, for the different manufacturers. But it should even it out respectively. There's the table. Only Aston Martin's actually gaining something, and you see the biggest losers are the Audis and Lamborghinis, which I've got to say already pretty unfancy, to be honest. It's kicking them while they're down, isn't it? I'm like, and Ferrari.
That was exactly my thought.
Well, Jim, I was going to say, just a kick in the nuts to those that are driving the Lamborghini, which has already been a horrid car to drive in this last iRacing season, it must be said. What a kick in the nuts, though, for those Lamborghini drivers, Jim. Unbelievable.
Did you know that the Lamborghini is still, on a factory setup, is still the fastest car on the Kemmel Straight, even with this BOP?
Well, and I'm sure Ewan can agree with me on this as well. Straight line speed at the Kemmel Straight, that's fine. But when the car bucks you off like a bull through the corners, I don't think straight line speed's going to be much of a factor for you throughout the
reason
straight.
that the bull is their logo.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, indeed.
Speaking of bucking off, though, you don't see anything that they've hardly done to the Mustang here. It's not in the worst, it didn't get hit hard. The Mustang is the meta car right now.
It is. I drove it the other day at Long Beach, and actually it was and this is in the fixed regionals races for the GT3 America Series, and that car is as stable as it has ever been, Jim.
Oh,
it
it's
is
a
so
beast.
stable, so smooth, no issues. I had a couple issues with understeer, but that was more driver error than car error, really. For
Well,
the
if
majority
you
of that
drove
race,
more
20
than
minutes.
once a month, you probably would be able to correct that.
Well, to be fair, I only hit the wall once, and it was with one lap to go, and I bent my steering a little bit. The rest of the race, the thing was completely clean, and it was fine.
But
I think.
On Tuesdays, I do that high dollar league with all those pro 10,000 iRating guys.
Yeah.
Every single car in that field this week was a Ford Mustang, with the exception of one lone driver in the pro category. That's 29 guys in the pro category. One lone guy was driving a McLaren. And every other pro in that field was driving a Mustang.
Absolutely wild.
It's crazy, man. How can it be that far off? You know what I mean? How can it be that bad?
Well, one difference I'm noticing as well, Ewan, and of course you've been here for the majority of the season, so you'd be able to tell me, if this really been the case for the majority of the season. But looking at last week, the significant amount of Ferraris that have shown up to Spa this week, comparatively to last week.
A lot.
And as a fan of the 296, because I think the 296 is really, really slept on, and probably should get a lot more love in the iRacing community because of the importance it played when it was as the Ferrari challenge car prior to them bringing the actual challenge car out as well. To see so many Ferraris in the field is very heartwarming, but also very interesting. We're seeing this happen in the final round of the season leading up to the 24. It appears, I think, a lot of drivers have planned to run what is the most well-rounded car, we could maybe say, Ewan, because that Ferrari is arguably always the most comfortable, no matter what special event you go to. It's always the safest choice I think you can pick for a car that's going to be comfortable, relatively quick, and one that people can get up to speed with quite quickly as well.
I think what you can also read into that BOP table as well is potentially a fear from iRacing that the Ferrari might even be too much of a strong machine. It is one of the biggest losers from that. 3 kilos added compared to our BOP, 1% less fuel, slightly smaller fuel tank, and 0.25% less power than what we've had here over the course of the season. So maybe reading into that is very much the case. So I want to point out another car though that's pretty stable, and very stable. In fact, I would put this into the ring as the most stable of them all. It's the BMW M4 GT3. The top split race from last I was just sent a clip of the finish from the top split at Spa 24 last year, which was the closest ever in iRacing's history of a 24-hour race, only 11 thousandths after all of that time. 2 BMWs, 1 and 2, and there were plenty more behind that, as I remember as well. So that hasn't been touched from our BOP to this one. It does still have BOP 4% less fuel than it absolute maximum, 7 kilos weight penalty, and 0.5% power adjustment. But that's no change from the BOP that we've had here. The fact that that's been left pretty much untouched maybe suggests that the BMW is going to turn out to be fairly strong for the second year in a row as well, maybe alongside that Ferrari.
I think so. I think the BMW's often been touted, depending on the event you go to in that car, it has often been touted as, again, one of those safer choices alongside the Ferrari. It's the front engine safe choice, right? The Ferrari's the mid-engine safe choice, the BMW's the front engine safe choice. So depending on your drive style and your preferred car style as well, whether you prefer front engine or rear engine, that will then obviously dictate which car you choose between those two. the BMW often is the strongest at a more fast-paced yet technical balanced circuit. So a track like Spa, the BMW is often quite good at. Similarly, it's quite good normally at the Bathurst 12-hour as well, because you can get that thing to feel like it's on rails across the top of the mountain, and that will then make up for the straight line speed deficit that you may be giving to a Mustang or to even a Lamborghini, as we've stated with that straight line speed that car has as well. We'll have a good look though at our track map for tonight. It is the world famous course, Ewan. Anyone who doesn't know Spa is probably only a fresh race fan, of course, but it's a fantastic place to go racing, and it's one with plenty of challenges and plenty of spots for these drivers to make mistake across the 90 minutes of racing we've got coming our way.
Yeah, indeed, in the Ardennes Mountains here, over towards the eastern side of Belgium, and right in the forest, very changeable conditions as a result of these mountains that surround this racetrack, and indeed give it its character, of course, as well to drive. You see from that graphic there, I think it's 100 metres, I think, the elevation change around here from bottom to top, so it's very steep for a racetrack. Over the course of 7 kilometres in towards turn number 1, La Source. One of the corners that actually hasn't changed at all. Well, the surroundings have, but the turn itself hasn't really over the course of its very, very long history. And neither really in recent times has Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Now the wall on the outside here has been pushed back a long way, and that thankfully has prevented some of the terrible accidents of the past coming up again. But it's unchanged otherwise. Before you go up towards the Kemmel Straight, the climb up the hill, which is pretty steep actually. That's certainly steeper than it looks. And then it shortens the braking zone for Le Combe, where you can stand on the brakes really late in a GT3. Hooking yourselves over the curb through there, but not getting an off track. Easy to do round here. Then through Malmedy, where the gravel in recent times has been brought right to the edge of the racetrack. Track limits, not so much a discussion through there anymore. Down the hill now through Bruxelles, where the car really feels like it's getting away from you. Very hard to get it to oversteer through there, or even turned in properly at all. Through No Name Corner again, where the track limit's no longer an issue, or Jackie X Corner as it's more recently been known. And then in towards Pouhon, the double left-hander. Wonderfully committed corner, even in a GT3, makes it feel like a GT3 has downforce, when of course it doesn't really. In towards Piff Paff, a much slower chicane, but still flowing. To the right, then to the left. You want to keep it to the right a little bit further before 14. Again, gravel closer than it used to be to the edge of the racetrack, as it is through here, through Stavelot on the outside. Not allowed to extend as much as and as egregiously as he used to be able to through there. Neither through the Curve Pour Frere, which really restricts your run, actually, on the way towards Blanchemont. You've got to avoid an off-track, of course, as well, especially for these longer races where you'll be worried about hitting the instant limit by the end of the day. Through the gentle left-hander before the proper one. Almost pretty much every time flat out in the dry anyway in a GT3 these days before you get down on the brakes for the bus stop chicane. Very, very steep braking zone, and the biggest braking zone as well, so a decent overtaking chance, even if there isn't too much of a long straight before it. Up towards the line and the end of a lap, which, by the way, round here is 2 minutes 15 in a GT3 car. Well, that at least has been set by Troy Anderson for the moment in the as we were saying, very poor Lamborghini. He's gone and looks like taken pole. So that will show us, it seems. Daniel Small in the more recognisable BMW, and Robbie Williams in the more recognisable Ferrari, making up the rest of the top 3 for the moment. In fact, the Ferraris make up the rest of the top 7 in a row there, just afterwards, you can see there with the final tyres. Michael Anderson is just coming over the line now, and he might jump into that with that lap time there. He does. He moves up to 4th place. Jamie MacArthur making personal best improvements all throughout, but is a long way down, 31st currently, but may well improve. Yep, does. Moves up to 26th, and it looks like that's going to be it for improvements. By the way, Jim, I'm not sure if you've got any control over this. It seems that the numbers on the left-hand side are in black, and so is the background. So that's going to make it quite hard to see.
Yep, I'll work on that. I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
One thing that might be able to fix that is if you set class color as position, at least that will at least put the background as their class color for the moment as well. A few obviously key areas today, Ewan, that we're going to have to be keeping an eye on, especially early in the race as well. Lap 1, lap 2, up through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. I called a endurance GT3 race here a few weeks ago of about 40 odd cars here, and lap 1 car park at Raidillon was very, very real and a massive reality, and a very early safety car opportunity on that day. Now, we don't run safety cars here, so we shouldn't see one today, but a very high chance that we are going to see a car park at the top of the hill on lap 1. Drivers have then also, of course, got to be careful of Jackie X corner 2. That's an area of strife and struggle for drivers. And then obviously Blanchimont as well is probably the other key area that drivers have to be careful of. Not only early in the race, but actually later in the stint as the tyres start to wear away from them and as the race starts to wear away as well. You can take caution through Stavelot and then through 16 at the lowest point of the elevation of the whole circuit as well, because we'll often see some gravel board on the circuit there, and then that's where some issues can come as well. But namely, the big named issues are Eau Rouge, Raidillon, Jackie X corner, and then Blanchimont. They're the 4 main areas that drivers are going to have to be cautious of early in the race, and then also later in the stint as well, before their fuel runs out at the end of their roughly 24 lap stints they'll be finding themselves running tonight.
Yeah, as we've heard, the fuel restriction that is normal in this series has gone away for this round, so expect to see them making only 1 pit stop. And the fact that they can't make an hour normally in a tank of fuel here in a GT3, at least if you're running absolute top pace all the way, like it will be a problem at the weekend, it will not be a problem here. If you don't make it to the hour, then fine. As long as you make it to 45 minutes, which you do well not to, you should be absolutely fine to do this race on just the 1 pit stop. We'll see what they decide to do in that pit stop, but anyway, it should just be the 1 here today. Well, it looks like qualifying is pretty much over, so we'll wait for the session to advance in the next couple of moments. But yeah, the start will be rather important here. It always feels heading into these races like 90 minutes is so much longer than 60, but actually, when you think about it, it isn't very long. And so, what I mean by the start being important is you can't afford to slip too far away from the leaders. I don't think there's an obvious favourite for this race. I mean, Daniel Small is the champion in waiting here, but he's not the pole sitter here. In fact, over 0.3 of a second is the advantage for Troy Anderson. Robbie Williams, who's been pushing Small all the season, is 3rd. Michael Anderson, we know what he can do from 4th place. So it's going to be close, I think, especially between those 4, and important off the start for these guys not to lose massive ground, because that's where you can lose the race in the early laps. But it'd be difficult for you to get a gap that would allow you to win it in the opening lap, as the famous saying goes. So yeah, it's not actually very long, 90 minutes, when you actually get down to it.
Well, one thing that I think as well that we probably need to think about is I think the drivers who often can keep themselves clean and keep themselves consistent throughout this race, they're going to be the ones that are obviously going to do quite well. And I think they're also going to be the drivers that'll be focusing on towards a possible race win today as well. So you've got to look to those drivers that can often keep themselves neat and tidy throughout the whole race. We know that Daniel Schmoll has that capability, mix that with his pace as well. You look further down the order, you look to guys like Cole Malley and even a Kurt Basler, they're very capable of keeping themselves clean and keeping themselves consistent. The key factor to this race that we know about, you, and before we get our grid up here, is you have to survive lap 1. You've got to survive that initial uphill run through Raidillon, up through Lake Holm in the straight as well. But yeah, survival's going to be the main key here on lap 1, just to get yourself into a ticket into buying your way to the race win.
Right, there's 40 of them, so I'll get on with it quickly with this grid. Troy Anderson on the pole in front of our champion in waiting, Daniel Small, who is alongside him. Row 2, Robbie Williams, who's been chasing Small all season, and Michael Anderson making it 4 manufacturers again in the top 4. A great spread of manufacturers again. Although the Ferraris come in from here. Corey Patton is next, the Pram pole sitter alongside Jake Cotterman. Lisan Young Dilworth, the second placed in the Prams, also alongside a pro of Harrison Holday. And Michael Smith and Mark Stewart round out the top 10. 11th place has gone to Norman Padavani, who's in front of Cole Malley. Then it's Oliver Brooks and Kurt Basler on row 7. Row 8 is Richard Silver and Michael Caffrey before you finally get to the AM pole sitter John Swan, who often takes some very conservative starts. We'll see that again here tonight, I presume. John Voigt is going to be 18th alongside. Oliver Hubber and Jordan Cox will be next in front of the first all-prime row, all the way down row 11. Jason Holland and Justin Cornett. Right in front of the first all-am row, Chris Grondin and Mackenzie Meyercord. The next row, row 13, will be Jacob Cotterman in front of Jamie MacArthur. Justin Welsh and Caleb Cavier will then be on row 14 before the top 30 is rounded out by Philip Caffrey and Matt Lass in the only Audi here today. 31st is Brian Labrita, who will be battling for second in the AM Championship today with Chris Grondin. Hopefully, Ojko is alongside. Guillermo Seguenza and Scott Petrone then on row 17. Aidan Kiley next instead of Ryan Bodgley. Row 18, then all AMs from here. Greg Lawrence and Mark Ossier. And if Herschel Lawrence and James Gilpin has not taken the grid yet, may not start this race, we will wait and see. Well, drivers are weaving their way towards the start-finish line. A slightly longer short pace lap than you used to get. The drivers now gridding up just before the campus chicane, 13-14, turn 13-14. And nowadays, back in the day, it used to be just up here, but that gives them a little bit longer. And it'd be a relief to these GT3s, because back in the days where you used to start a little bit closer to the start-finish line, you didn't have time to warm up the tyres. Now, it wasn't as much of a factor back then either, but they finally got the chance to just weave around a little bit to get some temperature into these tyres before we properly get underway in this race. Don't know what's happening there. Jim's doing something. Hopefully we're going to...
He's making sure he's got his camera pack loaded now. And Portman as well today, Ewan, just as we come up to the start line, running the Grand Prix layout of this circuit. So we have the shorter pit lane, not the endurance pit lane. So pit lane start's not necessarily going to give you an advantage over a regular starting for the endurance layout.
Right, it'll be a busy pit lane when it comes to it. 40 drivers here racing the final round of the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship, and we are underway with Troy Hansen holding the inside line nicely in towards turn 1. Now, do they all get through cleanly is the big question. Through on the opening lap, the answer is yes, just about. There is one spinner in the background, but nothing too major, and there is somebody in the gravel as well, but nothing too major going on back there. At the front of the field, Troy Hansen does hold on in front of Daniel Swoll. Robbie Williams has gone down 2 places behind Michael Hansen and Jed Cotterman, who both move up, and he's actually under pressure for more here. Harrison Holday's already made up 2 places, and he wants a 3rd as they run up towards Les Combes. Side by side, it looks like he's going to get it there, and does. Holiday moves up to the top 5. Not a good start for Robbie Williams, who's outside the top 5 already.
Yeah, that's not a good start there for Robbie. He's already down 3 positions there, but a great start for those 3 cars now ahead of him. Anderson up to 1, Cotterman up 2, and Harrison Holiday up 3 at this stage as well. Kurt Basler, a great start for the German today. He's up 4 positions into the top 10. John Voigt as well up 5 into the top 15. So some early gainers thus far. Mackenzie Mycord's done well. He's up 6 into the top 18. One of the biggest losers, though, John Swan, the pole sitter for the AMS this evening, and the inevitable champion, is down 9 positions into P26. So not the start that he would have wanted.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fight back for him again, but you'd imagine he'll be able to do it. Callum Cavier has been off through Pouon. You can see there on the right-hand side of screen through the gravel. Thankfully, nobody's really had any massive crashes or anything on this opening lap so far, which is good news, because you can see that sometimes at Spa. Let's see what happened on the right-hand side here to Cavier. Jim's protecting Cavier's reputation there. He's like a lawyer. Anyway, for ninth place, Hugh Dilworth and Kurt Batzler fighting it out through Blanchemont, and that's going to stack them up behind. And look at that, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way in here. O'Malley and Padavani side by side. Same for Voigt and Smith, Brooks and Caffrey. 3 rows in towards the final chicane. Over the start-finish line, they sorted out, but yeah, that was row on row on row, and this is just towards the bottom end of the top 10, or just outside of it. This is Corey Patton and Mark Stewart now. Patton's still the Priam leader, and so he backs out of that in favour of Mark Stewart going through over the top of the hill there. This is where the action is really, as the front guys just spread out a little bit here.
Starting to spread more. You may notice as well, watching at home, there's a couple of cars with new liveries on their entries for this weekend as well. Jim will be able to give us more information on this. But the Cottermans, Michael Anderson and Mark Stewart are the ones that I've noticed thus far are running those new liveries. It appears to be a bit of a team change for them, Jim, leading into this Spa 24-hour weekend.
It is, yes. They are apparently have put together a team with Troy Anderson and Jed and Jacob, and I'm not sure of exactly who all, but I think but they're running the 24-hour, and apparently from what I've gathered, Jed is going to be the lead guy, so he should be starting them off.
Be a significant one for them. Richard De Silva has also had a moment further back in the field. It's found him in the wall up at Lake Com as well at the end of the Kemmel Straight. So that moment's happened to the Pro-Am driver, as we'll see what's happened here to Mr. De Silva earlier on. This was him battling up towards Lake Com up here. You see him trying to make it 3 wide up here, Ewan, and early in the race 3 wide's not often going to go all that well, and I don't think it's gone all that well for the already damaged entry as he cut across the nose of Richard De Silva, who's off the road.
Well, the gravel stopped him from getting into the wall at least, but yeah, that's the kind of thing you see in the opening laps as he's fighting for position here. This was Matt, oh dear, an Audi through Blanchimont. I've seen this before. Yep, there we go. Really high speed spin, and how does he avoid everything and everyone avoid him? That was amazing. That was a great bit of driving from absolutely everybody there. Oh, and Cavier's not going to get away with it. We're going to show it in the end. Here we go. Callum Cavier, this is completely on his own as well through Pouan. Just turns in, the grip's not there. Oh, again the gravel saves him from hitting the wall, went it harder than he already did in towards Pouan. This is Kurt Passler, who tries to close the door on a Mustang. It's not going to work. It will always find a gap or force one. Oh, and in avoidance, one of the Ferraris gets turned by one of its kind at the final corner. So that's pretty awkward as they tried to avoid each other. Yeah, that's Oliver Brooks it was who just drops a few positions back there. Is that slow down there for John Voigt? He's just pulled off the road, and yeah, it looks like it is. John Voigt just on the left-hand side, sorry, live pictures, slipping behind Cole Malley out down the Kemmel Straight there after getting a slowdown. You mentioned the lap 1 precarious situation, Hamish. We actually survived this time, but slowdowns through Raidillon through there are going to remain a constant feature.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm actually quite gobsmacked that he made it through there so tidily, but yeah, slowdowns are going to be a massive feature of Raidillon, of course. That's going to be one of the key areas the drivers are going to have to be cautious of when watching their off-track limitations here this evening as well. Don't be surprised if by the end of the 90 minutes we've had about 10 cars that have driven through pit lane with drive-through penalties thanks to those incident limits being met. As I said, those who can keep it clean and keep themselves tidy, they're going to be the ones that are going to benefit, because they're going to be the ones that keep their cars out of pit lane more times than what they need. Oh no, we may see 20. We may see 20 of them drive through pit lane. Who knows? But that's going to come down to how willing they are to keep the cars on the tarmac, keep it between the white lines, and keep themselves out of danger as well. And that can be a tougher task than said at times. But I think with plenty of laps here at Spa, they should be capable of doing so. I would say.
Yeah, let's see. It's a longer race than normal, to remind you. 90 minutes on the menu tonight. Oh, and another spin! Again through Blanchimont, and it's Oliver Hubber this time. Oh, and he's been avoided by everybody too. Unbelievable driving from everybody so far here, as they've managed to see 2 high-speed spins through Blanchimont pass them by. They've managed to weave left and right to pass Matt Lass earlier in the Audi, and now Hubber, who's gone for a spin in the Ferrari through Blanchimont. Here he is. I'm not sure whether there was contact for that one with the Aston Martin behind or not, but he avoids the wall, then backs it into the field, who somehow managed to slip left and right. Another remarkable feat there. And there was contact indeed that time, helping that spin, but afterwards, no more contact, nobody smashing into Hubber. Remarkable avoidance from everybody.
That was Jacob Cotterman who had made the contact with him as well. We've had a massive incident though in and amongst this field. You can see it in the background of the live shots back there. Chris Grondin and others have all been involved. This is a huge one down at the Kemmel Straight. A lot of them have now towed back to pit lane. This has all begun though, I believe, with Jamie MacArthur as possibly being one of the early culprits in this. So you see him battling here with Cotterman, who had already had that incident with Hubber not too long ago. Up through Raidillon they run. running it side by side with another car, doesn't realise they're there. Heavy contact, and that is a huge one on the entry to the Kemmel Straight.
Goodness me, that is an absolutely huge crash. Brian Lavrisa, Jason Holland, Chris Grondin have all towed back to pit lane straight away. And Norman Padavani's dropping down the field as well. Not sure whether unrelated or not, but he's just lost a few places. But this is the onboard from MacArthur. What's the impact here on the left-hand side? The way this wall comes out, it's this McLaren that causes it, basically. And that's a hard hit for MacArthur. Then he is completely out of control as 3 more get taken out. I'm not sure who the McLaren is there, but they've absolutely caused that, I'm afraid. They've tried to overtake off the racetrack for one, which is not illegal anyway, but more pertinently, it's caused the accident itself that has spilled over in towards Raidillon, and unfortunately taken a few more out afterwards as well. A real shame for those who were sort of innocently involved in that, really.
I think that might have been... Was it John Swan? It was John Swan.
Oh, wow.
The AM Championship leader. So, John's come up, I think, to avoid around the outside, knowing that he's going slow. Off the track. Tries to rejoin as the car's alongside him, and it's just doored him off the road. And that is a very poor incident for what is the inevitable champion in the AM class. But I suppose such an amateur move maybe describes why John is the amateur champion, maybe, because yeah, that's...
Wow, big statement that.
Well,
I mean,
Go back and look at that again, because to me it looks like he's avoiding. He saw the guy coming over in the Porsche, and he goes off track to avoid him and still gets hit, is what I see. Go back and look at that again, if you don't mind.
I get the avoiding argument, but I think he comes on back on the racetrack very quickly when he doesn't have to, really. I mean, he's not obviously he's not trying to overtake anybody here.
So there's a gap. He's going for a gap. The other car is nowhere near him. He's got a...
He sees the guy coming. He's completely off track.
Yeah, but look at him. He's off track, and then he's coming across
back
him.
a little bit. Okay.
He shouldn't be coming back like that. Is the point? I think.
But I mean, I guess you could argue that he shouldn't have been forced over there either. But
also, as well, to that point, Jim, you're going so fast through here. You're not. He has a split second. He's not. It's not that he has plenty of time to see that the car's. He's already committed. He's committed to going to the outside, no matter if the car's coming across or not.
Yes.
He's not making an adjustment for that car to come across. His line is always going off track. That is where his racing line that he selected is going. He's then rejoined the circuit, not realised that the car's still alongside him, and he's doored him off the road. I'm sorry, but that is completely on John. That is on the choices that he made leading in through that corner. That is on John 100%. Because the other car should not have to. The other car doesn't have to leave room to a car that is off track.
About John Swan, he has the Motormouth Broadcasting logo on his car. You're not allowed to see that.
This is not independent media.
Nobody said that we were not biased here, okay? If you run the Motormouth Broadcasting livery, you will get more time on camera and you will get talked about good. No,
I'm favourable opinions, yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Look, I do agree with Hamish on the rejoin point, to be honest. I do kind of understand, having seen that again. Padavani's trying to get in the pit lane here, and he can't. This is, he's never going to turn that back. He's going to have to tow, I think. This is going to be quite hard work, getting this turn back round again.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. Well, he can barely turn left as it is. Here we go. He'll finally get into pit lane, one of the more difficult ones.
Let's take a look at what happened to him.
Okay,
real quick here.
I'll finish my point in a sec.
Oh, go ahead.
This is going to be him trying to get into pit lane. Yeah. This happened quite a while ago. This happened just after I don't know if he wasn't involved. It happened very soon after the big crash that we're talking about here over the top of the hill there. I saw him dropping places just then. So I'm not entirely sure whether he was involved or not. But, I do get why he had to go off the road initially, because the closing speed was so quick and so on, and you don't want to risk staying on the racetrack at a cost of crashing into somebody else, so I do get that. However, I know there's not much runoff there, but there is a little bit longer for him to wait, just a little bit, so that he could communicate a safe re-entry onto the racetrack with MacArthur on the inside there. And
I agree with that. I can accept that. And once I looked at it, I saw it a little bit differently.
Sorry, I've just noticed John Swan is now actually off the road as well.
Oh,
So John Swan has been involved in an incident down at Puon, and I've made someone crack up in the background from that.
That's
the name
me.
of that corner.
Yes. No. I cracked up because it's John Swan, you know, and of course I can't protect him anymore, so he's on his own.
Well, no, this is actually a self-made incident, so I'm about to have a look at it here. So this was coming down and into towards Puon. So he loses the rear on his own, tries, I think, to rejoin, realizes there was a car there, does rejoins again, forces a car off the track, and
I'll come to his defence on that. I'm not sure how much of what we just saw there he was in control of.
no, he definitely wasn't in control of the car. I think there's no doubt about that. I'm not saying that any of that was egregious, but probably would have been saved by the fact of if he had actually just applied the brakes, that might have actually stopped that car from going on and off the track about 4 times. If he had just held his brakes initially.
I guess might have thought he could save it, I suppose. By the way, and Jim, you might, well, I'll say you might have I'm saying this sentence hesitantly, you might have a better memory than me. Possible.
Maybe.
Hasn't Swan been in a McLaren, a Mercedes for most of this season, and he's now in a...
Was it a Porsche? No, it wasn't Mercedes, yeah. He changed cars for sure this week, and I'm pretty sure it's because the season is over. He's already champion, and he's probably driving what they're going to drive this weekend in the 24, would be my guess.
What I was going to say is that he wouldn't be using the McLaren again because it's not been giving him much good luck compared to the Mercedes, which is well, it's not all been luck this season, as it? He's driven very well, but he has not had the best luck tonight.
He wasn't a Mercedes. I keep wanting to say Porsche, but it's not him that was driving the Porsche. I've got him confused with someone else.
Pretty sure it is.
No, I think you're right. You're right.
So, I'm pretty sure, but speaking of car changes for tonight, pretty sure Matt Lass used to be in a Porsche, now he's in an Audi.
The Audi thing is quite funny to me. Ahmet would be so proud.
And she's not here to be in an Audi as well, to have a friend. Maybe that's why she's not here. Feels a bit too crowded, the Audi crowd.
Yeah, well, it's more than one, so you know she's not a meta chaser, so she wouldn't do that.
It's become too good to use the Audi, maybe, and she decided to bin it off. Anyway. Intermittently through all this, we've been watching this battle for 4th place. Jed Cotterman, Harrison Holday and Robbie Williams all fighting for 4th positions. Williams, the one who's really lost out here in this battle. He's he lost out at the start and hasn't been able to regain those places really, and Holday hasn't been able to move up since getting past Williams, but now there might be about to be a change as Holday tried to get past Cotterman at turn 1. Never the best place to make a move around here because you've got this big straight afterwards. And Williams takes advantage, in fact, before the long straight itself, through into Eau Rouge. Robbie Williams retakes that 5th place, so he's back into the top 5 again.
He's driving very, very well today. I mean, Harrison's been driving quite well too over obviously the course of the seasons that he's been here in the Ultimate GT Championship. As Michael Anderson has gone off at Les Combes, just up the road from him as well, to the right-hand side of screen. So that's not the first showing that he wanted for that new team that they're working together with, and he has to reset himself in the WRM McLaren. Let's see what he can do now across the rest of this race, but he's taken himself off the podium. He's actually given advantage to his own teammate in Jed Cotterman onto the podium now at this point in time.
I'll point out, by the way, that the first thing we saw of them on the stream today was them crashing into each other in qualifying. I'm pretty sure. Well, no, but it wasn't
someone
crashing into Anderson, wasn't it?
No, it was Jed getting hit by Jacob. So it was a junior Cotterman.
That's definitely not what you want.
Cotterman, which is not what you want. As Michael Caffrey's just been sent off the road at the entry to Puon, so he'll now reset himself as well. But didn't hit the wall, which is very, very good to see at this stage of his race as well. We're only not even 20 minutes into this race, and it is absolutely crawled on by. But it's crawled on by because we're getting great racing action, but also some wild incidents on the road. And if it is feeling like it's going this slow, that'll actually help the drivers, because if they are getting into these early incidents, it means that they've still got a long time to to fight back in this race and see if they can pull something out of their last race of the season.
More than a normal race distance to go in this one still. Here comes John Voigt, by the way, recovering himself actually, back up to 9th place. Oh, well, recovering from a rather small thing. He got a slowdown going down the Kemmel Straight a few laps ago, and overall he has still made a very good start. He's up 9 now to 9th in the field, so he passes Lesson Young-Dilworth, who is also in a Ferrari compared to a Porsche normally. So has everyone been given a randomised manufacturer here today? It's very weird, this field. So many people in the wrong car. But anyway, Young-Dilworth one of those. John Voigt moving up ahead. Maybe lots of people going to the Ferrari, as you were talking about earlier, Hamish, for the Spa-24 and the potential insight into the fields we're going to see on Saturday.
I'm not used to seeing so much yellow on the timing tower, Ewan. Every sports car race I call, which is not that many as of right now, as normally I'm only seeing about probably maximum 3 Ferraris in an entire field. I'm not used to seeing this many. This is the last time I saw this many Ferraris in a single field was the last time I did a Ferrari Challenge race, and that was 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, it's wild to see the love and the support for the Ferrari this weekend. It seems this is fantastic. Hopefully, it means that top split is not going to be just Mustangs. Hopefully, it means it's going to be Mustangs, BMWs, Ferraris, and undoubtedly Porsches for the Spa 24 Hour.
Well, I hope it's going to be varied. That's all I'm hoping for, to be honest with you. Just hope that it's varied.
Do you recall when they claimed they were going to vary the fields by car manufacturer, and how quickly that's kind of gone away now? Because apparently they were going to separate their splits not only by pace, but balancing out how many cars of each type were in each split as well.
There's an easier, well, it's not an easier way, sorry, but there is a better way to do that, I think. That's just by making the BOP better.
Yes.
That will naturally do it, rather than forcing everybody. But
Ewan, are you broadcasting any of the 24-hour races this weekend?
I'm not doing any 24-hour race this weekend. No, sadly not. But there we go.
Well, I know you do a lot of special events and stuff like that, so I figured I would check, and if you were, we could promote it and have people come listen to you if they don't get enough of you here.
Well, I was going to say, I probably hear enough of it. If I was doing that, I remember one year, not this year obviously, but one year by this time of year, I was absolutely sick of seeing Spa. Because of, not only that event, but everyone decides to do a 24-hour race around the consecutive weekends around this time of year, and so pretty sick of the sight of it.
You and I are probably getting close.
A little bit, yeah.
We've done a few here in the past couple of weeks, for sure.
Yeah. One a week and a half ago, one 5 days ago, and here we are again. I'm sure there'll be more. So,
and I did 3 hours on Tuesday last week, so...
Yeah, it's one of those popular racetracks, though, isn't it? That just gets put in every schedule anyway. So, and it's for good reason. It's a good circuit to have all the time. But we do see it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I love this place, and it's still one of my favorite places to race. But from the broadcasting standpoint, sometimes some of these tracks get old, and then there's other tracks that you wish you could see more that you just love, and you just don't get to see them as much,
Again, it's the whole thing about we can't force people to race at circuits they don't want to.
So, not unless we control the league.
What do you mean?
Like if we started our own league, and then we would have control of the schedule.
No, I mean, yeah, but you could put whatever circuit you want on the schedule. It doesn't mean people are going to turn up to it.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
That's more difficult to get people to do.
To be fair, at this point, it's this is. I think that people shy away from the content because they don't want to buy a track that they're only going to race once every blue moon, so to speak. This is heating up right through here.
Yeah, Francorchamps. Oh, just about get away with it. Michael Anderson was poking his nose towards the end. Voigt is looking to get back past Young-Dilworth again, but no, they're saying Young-Dilworth has got through. Here comes Michael Anderson to the outside. and switches to the inside. And he gets just slightly sideways there, bit of contact, and here comes Smith as well into the top 10. Michael Smith getting past Michael Anderson, so it's turning into a bad start of this race for Michael Anderson, and he's going to be out of the top 10 if he's not too careful, but they're still side by side coming down the hill.
Look at him. He looks like he's watching TV or something. Just as calm as can be, switching the rear end all over the place.
He's cool, calm, and collected, entering Eau Rouge and Raidillon side by side with another car.
He is so chill. It's quite funny. I love these cameras these guys provide for us. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Whoa, he's pulled it up in time. So he's clearly got this circuit down at the moment, Michael Anderson. He looks like a driver who's been doing a bit of practice this week, especially the way he entered Les Combes that time round. But he is down 6th place on where he qualified, just languishing towards the back end top 10. By the way, I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, but Troy Anderson is down to 17th now after an early pit stop in this race. On lap 9, stopped for 7.5 seconds, and that guarantees a 2-stop race for him, but why he's decided to do that, I'm not sure.
It's very interesting that fuel strategy maybe is coming about for that car. Now, depending on the fill rate, 7.8 seconds, more than likely it's going to be about 2.3 litres per second that's going to go into this car. So if it is roughly that amount, that means he's put in just under 20 litres of fuel to push this car that little bit further, which is not fairly significant. Obviously that has now locked him into that 2-stop strategy, as we said, Ewan. Maybe he's doing this to test out different strategies for the weekend, knowing that he's not in a championship battle, because ultimately that's what this race could be as well. It could literally just be a practice session for some drivers in terms of getting their stint practice down, thinking about their fuel strategy for the weekend, and just seeing how much fuel they may need to maybe do a full hour come the Spa 24-hour coming up on Saturday, Sunday.
You don't see any incidents for him, do you, Hamish?
No, there's none. There are no incidents for him. So I saw him dropping spots, but I saw him dropping spots after he had lost the lead to Daniel Schmoll, and then he's come in on lap 9 to take a stop.
Interesting.
It looks scheduled.
Something that happened with Aiden Kiley here a minute ago.
It's a bit wide into the whoa! And there's the other pit lane. It won't be open like that, and I don't think anyway on Saturday. But because obviously it's all one big pit lane, but we're not using it here today, and that means that the entrance is open, and you don't want to get stuck down there because you can't. You can't reverse too far the wrong way to get out. So got to be very careful with that. But Kylie was able to stop himself from going down the wrong pit lane there, thankfully.
Very interesting thought pattern for Troy Anderson and why. Oh yes, no, he had an off track. Troy Anderson did have an off track, by the way.
Scott Patrone.
Yeah, Scott Patrone. He did indeed. Troy Anderson, by the way, has had an off track. I've just checked. He's had an off track up at Les Combes.
This is what happened to Patrone. He moved down the inside here on the Aston Martin, and he comes over just enough to get touched there and get into the wall. Pretty hard. It's a pretty classic Spa incident, actually, coming in towards Les Combes.
Was that
be a compilation somewhere of
that he got into?
Oh.
If it was Jacob's been like Elvis tonight. He's had more hits than you can count.
Okay, that was a good one.
It's just the slightest move over, isn't it? It's not too egregious, but it sent him into the wall. I don't think Jacob did anything wrong there.
Yeah, that was him.
So I have found the incident for Troy Anderson. So he has had a moment up at the exit of Les Combes, and this has actually cost him his rear wing. So that's why he's come into pit lane. It looks to be very light contact on the exit, but because the rear wing fell off, that would be why he did have to come in, because you cannot drive this thing without a rear wing on it. Obviously, no rear downforce is not going to help you, so that's how that's come off. Very light contact, of course, so yeah, that has explained the reasoning as to why he had to come into pit lane. You can see there, just after that moment, just how poorly it was handling up in towards Jackie's corner. So yeah, to no one's surprise, he had to come down pit road to fix that car up.
That's harsh as well. Yeah, we discussed it already.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't know my mic was muted. Yeah, I said I'm so glad that we're honoring Jackie X with a corner name. He's one of the great all-time race car drivers, and he does not get the respect that he deserves for what his accomplishments were.
I was conflicted about changing a corner name, especially at a place like Spa, because they're all named and they're also iconic. But yeah, they were given No Name a name.
Yeah, I don't know that No Name is something that you can't replace. You know,
it's just quite quirky and.
I mean, it is. But he deserves a corner name on a big track. He really does.
Well, yeah, on a big track. I was going to say he doesn't really have one at Zolder. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember which one it is. Mind.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he does. Maybe it's the final turn actually at Zolder, I think. But anyway, this is a much bigger racetrack, obviously, than that.
The only one I think more appropriate would be obviously Le Mans, since he's won Le Mans like 4 or 5 times, 6 times, something like that.
There must be a corner somewhere that hasn't been named. I mean, most of the corners at Le Mans are clumped together in sort of sections.
There's only about 6 of them anyway.
Well, that's true. And there's still a chicane open there. There's on the Mulsanne. So anyway, here's the battle for 7th that's still going on here. Voigt just got past young Dilworth, and Anderson followed. Now Anderson's braking late on the outside. He's squeezed, and we've seen this time and time again between these guys through the final turns. Listen, young Dilworth will go to the outside. Well, in fact, he'll actually make a concerted effort to try and avoid these guys on the way towards turn 1 as they weave left and right, trying to get ahead of one another. Cole Malley's going to get away from them both if they're not careful here, as Anderson runs around the outside and looks to be just about clear in time for Eau Rouge.
Man, Mike Anderson's driving that car tonight.
Not even just driving it, he's not having to wrestle it. You can see him, he's just guiding it around this Spa-Francorchamps circuit, keeping it nice and smooth and tidy, and doesn't have to play too many games to get this car up to pace. It seems that he is super comfortable right now, and that car looks to be very, very strong. It's getting up towards the top 5 once again after that mistake earlier on.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get through this group, but you can see why. It's been very busy through here and very difficult to get through this group. And it's growing in size as well. National Lights, who's down in I don't know where actually at the moment. It's moved up quite a few places. Oh no, sorry, down to 34th now. Through the final chicane. Mr. Spin getting on the power through here. It will have taken a little while to recover from. 2 retirements so far, by the way. Brian Labrisa and Jamie MacArthur from their instant over the top of the hill. Jason Hahn's been in there for 23 minutes so far in that pit lane. So yeah, they're all probably retirements. Well, he was fighting for second, with Chris Grondin, but that will obviously go Grondin's way now with Labrisa out. And he won't drop any further, by the way, Labrisa, because his gap behind to Aidan Kiley was 172. So he will keep third.
The important thing for Labrisa was I think he was actually one of the cars that was caught up in that lap 4 incident up at Raidillon. He was caught up in that massive pile up onto the Kemmel Straight, so that's why he is now out of this race, it seems, and was in pit lane for a good 5 minutes before calling the race for himself as well. Aidan Kiley, by the way, we just mentioned his name, has ran it wide up at Stavelot and then into turn 16 as well. So he is just trying to keep himself nice and tidy further down the order at this stage of the race as well. Everyone has started to spread here. I'm not too surprised by that. And this is a track that often leads the drivers spreading out and us having either little battle packs or even drivers having to deal with the pressures of the mentality of racing here at Spa. And one of the big pressures of mentality is actually keeping yourself engaged, keeping your brain engaged across the race. very easily get bored if you're running on your lonesome with no one else to battle with or no cars to see, especially here at Spa, because it is such a long track and it's quite monogamous in terms of having to try and keep your car on the straight and narrow, but also keep yourself engaged throughout this race as well. Because honestly, as good as this track is to drive, doing lap after lap after lap, it will drain you and it will start to feel boring to your brain, seeing the same corners every single time with no one to battle out there.
It's the test of a race of even this length, but certainly ones that are longer than this. Just keeping that concentration despite that, especially when it's just one class. And multi-class racing, sports car racing, you need to have people to lap, people still to overtake or be passed by. Don't even get that in GT3 only racing, which again this is going to be at the weekend as well around here. So
I find as well
very different.
Oh, I find as well, Ewan, so opposed to tracks like Bathurst or if you want to look at more 24-hour circuits, opposed to Daytona will keep you engaged because of the fact of you actually get a respite area, you get an area to have that little breath, which is obviously around the oval section of the circuit. But because it is a shorter circuit than Spa, you're actually lapping traffic more often than not. So there's actually less time that you are on your lonesome throughout that lap of that race. So when you come to Spa, because it is so large, you will often actually get bigger periods of time that you are on your own and bigger periods of time where you're not actually lapping some of that lap traffic, especially when you get into that perfect groove of pit stops lining up with each other and you're never actually having to pass someone on track. That is the big difficulty with Spa, and again, that's what can affect your mental across a race as well, based on the fact too that because this is a more technical circuit, more drivers will actually make mistakes, which means that often the cars you're actually trying to lap will often end up in pit lane more so than they are on the circuit. So that's another big difficult reason why boredom can be a real case in terms of your mentality around here in the States.
Slow down over the top of the hill there for Michael Caffrey as he was trying to get a run on Michael Smith. There's a lot of Michaels in this part of the field, isn't there? Trust me. He's going to slow down now, though. Well, is he? Caffrey's not really slowed down at the moment. Maybe he's hoping he can just clear it through the corners here, but it's not especially reliable. And now he's beginning to realise that this is not going to go away unless I properly slow down. And there you go. All that work to get back in this group, and it's just all gone away in that moment there. With the way they're fighting, he will surely be back in again soon. But for the moment, he's second half or so behind.
I'll take a moment here while we're, just kind of mid-race here. Well, not even really mid-race, but and recognize Michael Smith's livery he's got on his car tonight. He has autism awareness or some form of autism recognition on his car, which I know for myself is an important an important charity, and obviously it's something we need to bring attention to, and I know Hamish feels the same way. We've had that discussion in the past. So, yeah, just take a second there to recognize that, and just have people remember autism and what the Autism Awareness Foundation does.
Yeah, absolutely. Smith currently running in 12th place. Has he had that all season, by the way? Is this a special delivery for this
this is something he's running this week, I think.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, I don't remember it before, but running 12th with that tonight here at Spa.
Right in front
just
of
in this
here.
group. Oh, Anderson's gone again. Michael Anderson. Oh, and he's wedged himself in the pit lane. He's thankfully not Austin Powers himself completely. Oh no!
God.
Oh gosh. That was nearly completely disastrous.
Look,
he came straight across the road there in front of Justin Cornette.
Facial expression. How do you do that?
He nearly killed somebody.
He did, and he didn't even change his expression.
Goodness me. That
would
was
make a heck of a movie assassin.
We've had Jason Holland, by the way, in the chat as well, just quickly, just to ask us to show off his incident from his point of view, which was on lap 3 that took him out of the race. and I believe that was actually involved in that big pile up too. So I actually have it lined up just to show it off for him, since he has requested so nicely in the chat. But yes, for Michael Anderson then and there, get him in his age of 47 in the next Hitman film.
I know, right?
I mean, just nice and cool, calm and collected through that moment. But this was Jason Hollins up at Raidillon. So there we saw the incident, and he was actually the first car that got hit
my
by the
gosh.
Porsche. So that's
Thought he
what
was gonna get
happened to
away with
Holland,
that,
and
yeah.
that's why he's out. So he was actually the first car that was actually hurt by that incident outside of the two cars that were involved in it.
If I'm being honest, if Jason Holland had the equipment and trained himself, he would be a phenomenal producer. I mean, because he catches stuff, he does race control for the Friday Night League that we do, and he gives us all kinds of great pointers and stuff. But what I wanted to do here was I wanted to show his incident from his perspective with, because he's got his camera going tonight, and I didn't get a chance to show his camera. So real quick here, as soon as I can find the roll bar cam in his car, I'm going to show his incident. Well, there's a lot of cameras on here. As he's sitting back watching the race. And by this point, he's already dead.
Yeah.
He had a long death here, because this was... Oh, here we go.
Oh, there he is. He knows he's on camera. And, well, there we go.
Sorry, you'll be fined for that, just so you know. There'll be a fine coming.
Very good.
See what happens when you try to reward a guy and show off his camera, and look what happens.
I know, terrible. Yeah, I mean, for a long time, that it's easy to say in hindsight, why didn't he slow down when he saw the incident evolving up ahead? I mean, that's... I'd only say that because I know what's about to happen, and obviously he doesn't get that privilege when he's live in the moment.
He
But
doesn't have that
no, he didn't. He can't.
I mean, to be fair,
Can't quite see into the future yet. I don't think.
He was coming over that hill, which is one of the toughest corners, arguably in all of racing, because you're right on the edge of wrecking going through there every time. And
I would also say,
and you look up and the guy's hitting the wall, and you don't,
Yeah. It's also as well, probably, even if he jumps on the brakes, the car's probably not going to pull up in time. You're still going to hit him. Are you going to hit him as ferociously? Probably not. But you're still going to hit him, and you're probably actually making a more dangerous scenario for those that are actually following him behind you who may not have the reactionary skills to put the brakes on as well, to then not hit you on the way through and still collect you. So I don't think there was actually much he could really do in that scenario.
The heck with that. He said I was number one when I was showing him off on the broadcast. That was all his fault. He could have stopped that car, got out and had a picnic lunch. He had plenty of time, and he just ran over that poor guy.
He's claiming he's not expecting that car to launch off the wall like it did. I suppose when you haven't seen the incident happening firsthand and then seen how ferocious it is off the contact between the two cars, you're not going to expect that to happen. I would say, though, knowing the high-speed nature of that corner, Ewan, you should always expect a car to do something wild at Raidillon when it's having a crash.
I mean, it's not just fast. I mean, they're going to do something crazy.
What I was going to say was, this is the longest sentence I've ever spoken. He initially, MacArthur initially in front crashes into the wall on the left-hand side, and actually on that replay he stays in the wall on the left-hand side for quite a long time, and as Jason points out in the YouTube chat, he wasn't expecting it to launch off the wall like that. It does almost sort of veer away from the wall in that way, after sort of trailing down the side of it for quite a while there. So as I say, he can't see the future, sadly, and also it wasn't unreasonable to expect that car to stay on that side of the road anyway, but there you go, it didn't, and unfortunately he's out of the race now with that damage. Here's Troy Anderson's recovery through the field, by the way. 12th place now for him. This is not going to be a recovery right to the head of the field. Again, I wouldn't expect Daniel Small's going to be too far away for that. 35 seconds, it's 39 actually is the gap, but he might well be able to recover a podium here, Troy Anderson. I'm not going to count that out.
Well, there's still half a race to go here, and we're not even at the halfway point yet, and he's managed to catch back up to P12. Daniel could still get caught out in his own incident, knowing that he's nearly 15 seconds ahead of the car behind. So, 25 seconds to chase down to P2 for Troy Anderson. That's, again, it's about 45 minutes of racing left, including a pit stop that's claimed that they've done. They're going to do 20 laps.
He's going to be able to take much less fuel because
that's another good point as well. And he won't have to take tyres.
No,
if any of them take tyres,
of fuel, so less fuel.
If any of them take tyres, they're going to hurt themselves because they don't need to take tyres. They don't need to, but okay. No point. There's really no point if you're doing an hour and a half.
Well, I got a tip from somebody who's one of the faster guys in the field. Said that his strategy was I'm not going to say who it is because give away somebody's strategy, but because people do listen to these broadcasts while they're racing. But he said 50-minute mark, he's in. He's going to fuel it at 50 minutes, which is he's not out at that point, and he's taking tires, and he's gone. He's going to go from there and finish the race.
So my issue is you don't need to take tyres here, Ewan, because it's going to take you 5 laps to get them up to temperature again. And by that point, you're really not going to have that much advantage, but no based on how long the race is going to have left. I mean, you're going to waste 10 minutes trying to get your tyres up to 10.
I mean, I'd expect them to be up to temperature a little bit quicker than that, but even so, I agree that it's not worth it in an hour and a half. I mean, I'd like to know who the fast driver is who said that to you after the race, because that is an interesting point.
That information away. Never.
Also, the IMSA rule set is on for tyre changes for this race as well. So
it's off, is it?
No, it's on. It's turned
on. I see.
Which means
what? So
they have to take
So you
tires?
can cover it by fuel, can you?
No, you can cover it by fuel, but the issue is they're not going to take enough fuel to cover tyres.
Well, in an hour and a half.
It's a 24-second stop to cover tyres.
They're going to be pretty close at a 50-minute
They're going to need quite a lot of fuel. They're going to need quite a lot of fuel. So, in any case, it won't lose you that much more time, if it does lose you any at all. It won't lose you that much more time to take all 4 tyres if you want to. But I agree that it's not. I personally wouldn't either. I don't think it's worth it.
I think taking warm tyres is much more beneficial, as Corey Patton has had this moment. Down at, I believe that was just before Blanchemont after... No, that's up at Raidillon.
Eau Rouge,
yeah, Eau Rouge Raidillon.
Wow.
Very, very ferocious incident.
I don't normally do this, but I'm about to. Well, I couldn't, it started right as he was wrecking, so it didn't give me a chance.
Better rewinding?
Yeah, it's definitely better than rewinding.
Didn't clip the curve that hard, did you? I mean,
no, not really. That's that is a bit strange.
Harsh judgment by the.
He probably needs tires.
Harsh judgment by the judge of Eau Rouge there. Michael Smith is into pit lane, by the way. He's trying to split this race exactly in half, so I wonder whether he is going to take tyres here, Michael Smith, because otherwise, why would you pit on halfway exactly? Let's just. Well, there's going to be no other way to find out other than just watching the stop here. So at least for the first second or so.
Tires.
There we go. So at least taking a few.
Just so you know, they go up on the jacks regardless if you take tyres.
Uh-oh. I don't think so.
Not unless that's changed in week 13.
Well, we'll have to check on the next one, but I don't necessarily think that's true. But it could be.
Yeah.
I'll look back at Troy Anderson's stop for you and tell you if he went up on the jacks.
Well, you know he didn't take tires at lap 9.
No, I'm aware.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's a good one to look at because.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly short stop. It really was only just putting the rear wing back on. He would have taken a bit of the extra fuel
I'm
for
sure
the.
That was his fast repair and just top it off with fuel while you're there. But that may not hurt him as bad. You know, like you said, that extra 9 laps of fuel in the end is going to elevate him back up there into that podium conversation for sure.
Oh yeah. I just don't think he can recatch Daniel Small. That's all.
That's probably a bit excessive. Yeah.
I think in a straight fight he might have actually had this race, to be honest. I mean, easy to speculate on what would have happened when we have no evidence for or against what would have happened. But anyway, it looked like it was going the way of Troy Anderson. Then again, he did make the mistake on his own to lock the rear wing off anyway, and has landed himself in this position. But he did seem to have the pace, and there does seem to be a big gap between those two and the rest of the field. Small on his own now is nearly 15 seconds in front of Robbie Williams there, which is a very, very big gap indeed, as Jed Cotterman comes into the pit lane as well now from 4th position. Here comes Caffrey, who's finally got a few laps together where he has got a slowdown. He's faster than Kurt Bassler, but keeps getting a slowdown every time he gets close to the Porsche in front. This is stop for Jed Cotterman though. And does he come up on the jacks? He's close to halfway, so yes, he does take some tyres as well. The stop length, by the way, for Michael Smith was 28 seconds. The one for Young Dilworth was 27. So they will have enough fuel to take here that will be covered by 4 tyres if they want to take 4 tyres.
Yeah, they're starting to come in now.
Well, I'd say if you want to take tyres, then now's the best time, because you want to sort of even out the wear as much as possible between the 2 stints. If you're not taking tyres, then I suggest going as long as possible, because you can make use of a low fuel tank as much as you possibly can. Although, to be honest, they won't be going that much further past halfway anyway, such as the fuel consumption around here.
Hamish, what did you find out about Anderson's pit stop there?
Oh yeah, no, they don't go up on the jacks.
They do not.
Just taking, no.
Okay.
I thought it might be a thing for the majority of cars on, especially sports cars on iRacing, but no, they don't. They don't go up on the jacks. So if they're only taking fuel, they just park and then put fuel in it. So
it is in some simulators, I think. So it is something you have to check. But iRacing do well. I mean, thank God they do that, because there's no other way of finding out whether they take tyres or not. We'd be really stuck otherwise. Scott Petrone has somehow picked himself out the wall and is regaining places again. 20 places now gained, up to 14th. I think that makes him the biggest gainer of the day so far. We are in the middle of a pit stop phase, so it's some of those positions gained might be slightly false. Oh no, Marc Ossier, sorry, has got 22. Didn't spot him. He's in 16th. He's actually the AM leader for the moment, but as I say, there are some stops that have happened. I don't think any, though, that would have affected the AM lead. So Marc Ossier might be legitimately leading.
This is a good run for him. I showed him earlier. We didn't actually talk about him, but I had the biggest gainer up, and I showed him while we were talking about something else. Yeah, he's had quite a run. I mean, this is a great run from him. Up 22 spots, AM leader. With we know John Swan had some trouble, so what is Swan is about 4 seconds behind or so, is that right? No, more than that.
also, just to confirm as well, we've had our first driver with the incident limit being hit. Herschel Lawrence has had to drive through pit lane for a black flag, but he still has his black flag.
Oh.
So I think we may have either a stop hole penalty or he's fed in pit lane whilst he's actually done the drive-through.
Man, look, I made Ewan laugh during the broadcast, and he told a joke. I don't even know.
I told a joke?
Yeah, you said a joke earlier.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. See?
I didn't even know.
So you're so comfortable at it now that it doesn't even affect you. Who'd you say that was again?
I heard Herschel Lawrence. I'm trying to watch this back on.
I'm looking at the incident limits right now. Herschel Lawrence has got 17, yes.
Yeah, but he's driven through pit lane. He's already done his drive-through.
He might have sped.
And it hasn't cleared it. That's what I'm saying. I think he's actually sped in pit lane whilst he served his drive-through. Or he's had an unsafe pit exit. He might have hit the white line when he actually hit it pit exit.
Oh my goodness.
As well.
What was that you and I? No, that wasn't. Never mind.
No, okay, no. So he didn't hit the line on pit exit.
Had to be speeding.
No, he wasn't. He didn't speed in pit lane. If you cut the AstroTurf on entry, is that classified as an unsafe entry?
I don't know if it's that harsh.
I don't think it's that harsh.
Well, for whatever reason, it's not been served, so I think he has a stop hold.
Yeah, he well and truly didn't. Yeah, either his penalty has been a stop and hold all along, and that drive-through hasn't cleared it, or indeed he has sped into pit lane.
So we know that is a drive-through.
To confirm, he has not sped in pit lane because he crawled it into pit lane and he crawled it out of pit lane. So there is no way that he sped in pit lane. He's coming in for his drive-through again. I think this is a stop hold. I think he actually has a stop hold penalty.
For what, though?
They must have set the incident limit.
Well, yeah.
Stop hold.
For what? I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. Gotta say.
He's got 17x. So, yeah, Jason Holland's saying he's got a 17x drive-through for sure, but he drove through. He drove through pit lane and it hasn't cleared it.
I don't know, but Jason Holland would know for sure. And
Yeah,
besides that, yeah, there's an incident limit is a drive-through, so we know that. Well,
By the
they're really
way,
pitting
just
now.
well,
So Jason's
yeah,
claiming
exactly.
it's
Look
an
at the amount of
unsafe
tyre
entry.
changes, by the way, that are happening as well here among the top contenders. This is lap
Everybody's gonna
23 stops, so there'll only be about one more lap for the guys who are carrying on here. And most of them, if not all of them, are changing tyres. I've got to say, I was with Hamish. I thought that this would be the minority going with the tyre changes rather than the majority, but it's the other way round. Looks like most people are changing 4 tyres.
So to confirm as well, Jason Holland is in agreement with me. It has to be an unsafe entry, so it has to be because he's actually cutting the AstroTurf.
Show
He's
that.
getting an
You
unsafe
pull that
entry,
up
which is
and
then extending the...
we'll show that to everybody and let them see what that looks like.
Okay, well, let me find his
A very
most-
harsh
not
penalty,
most-
I think, is
Not
what it's
most
gonna look like.
previous pit entry.
I
but
agree.
one thrown out. So here we go. I've got it here. So I believe this is the second go around that he's come into pit lane. So this was when he initially came in, I believe, for his drive-through. And just watch the entry. So straight across the green.
Oh yeah,
all
that
4
probably
tyres
is
are off.
unsafe.
That is an unsafe
That
entry.
probably is unsafe. That
So
probably is.
this is the most. So this is actually the most recent entries. This is not even the first one that he did.
Uh-oh.
So he's done it twice in a row, which means he's given himself 2 drive-throughs or 2 stop holds in a row because he's still been parked up for a minute and a half. That black flag is finally clear. So I would assume he has stacked drive-throughs for unsafe entries,
So
and that's given him a stop
this is
hold.
the second one you're showing?
This is the first one. That was the first one when he did the drive-through.
So
Okay.
those are different, yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, now that I've seen it,
Hang on.
that seems less harsh, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
that there-
obviously cutting it for sure.
Sorry, let me
Yeah.
correct. This was the first one. That was the second one. So that was the same one that I already showed you. This is the first one. This was the initial one when he drove through pit lane. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
Yeah,
even,
the
to
same.
be fair, that's not even trying to make the entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's absolutely egregious. I mean, is it dangerous? I wouldn't say that necessarily, but it is
No, but it's-
absolutely not even trying to make the entrance. By
So
the way,
he's had a
Robbie
drive-through.
Williams and Harrison Holiday are going one more lap than everyone else. And we have Daniel Small back out on track. And
Apparently for Robbie Williams here, Jim, through it all, his fuel tank is offering him protection right now, and not anybody else. So there's a Robbie Williams reference to everyone else out there.
I mean, that to me.
You may not know who Robbie Williams is, Jim, but I'm sure you and me know.
Yeah,
him.
I've made this joke before, and Jim
Yes.
doesn't know Robbie Williams is.
Well,
He
who's
doesn't.
Robbie
He doesn't.
Williams?
Americans don't know who Robbie Williams is for some reason,
Who
but
is he?
everyone
What
else
is wrong
does.
with him?
He's
Singer?
a-
Is that the one you made
Yeah.
a joke? Yeah, that's literally the only pop culture joke Ewan has ever made. We've been working together 2 years, and that is the only pop culture joke he has ever made, and I didn't get it.
So don't feel bad, Jim. For whatever reason, Americans don't know Robbie Williams, even though he's had multiple #1 hits.
Not in
Like
America.
they don't know who it is. No, he did.
Because
He
you
did,
don't, you
though.
lot don't listen to good songs. I mean,
Oh, is that what it is?
well, no, some of them were all right, but they're not all
so
bangers.
Robbie
by
Williams
the
is
way-
good. Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to get a clarification
Very good.
here.
Well, he had a biopic made about him, so
Oh no! Oh no! Someone's. Oh, it's Philip Caffrey! Oh, and he's still in the way! Get out the way! He's still there! Oh my goodness, this is killing Williams and Holiday.
Oh, my
Philip
God.
Caffrey's going in like he's driving to the shop for some milk. Now he's finally getting out the way. Oh my
Had a
God!
meatball. He had a meatball flag coming into pit
Well, I know.
road,
Oh my
and then had the
goodness.
unsafe entry.
Oh my.
Oh my word. Let's see here.
That is
That's ruined their
incredible.
race. That's going to ruin their race. Oh, Daniel Schmall, though. Daniel Schmall has just absolutely blown up the final corner, by the way.
Oh, this is stupid.
All right,
this.
we'll get to the
Sorry.
Daniel Small slowdown here in a second, but
That
what is-
is silly.
That is dumb. That is so dumb.
Don't do that.
wow. I mean, he
That is
just
one of the
wrecked
worst.
his own
That's one of
race and Small
two
and
others.
Anderson's race. I mean, Small and
that-
Harrison.
that
I mean,
is one of.
Robbie and Harrison. I'll
That
get it
is
right eventually.
seriously-
I almost
that is
cursed. I was so
seriously-
aggravated.
That is the worst pit entry I think I've ever seen. That is the worst
Oh.
pit entry I've ever seen. It's Robbie Williams now going round on the Exeter pit lane.
Oh, I just saw that the other day too. Did he spin it on the exit?
Looks like it. I mean,
Yep.
how he hasn't got an unsafe exit is a bit of a mystery. Holiday got past him because he was so much more efficient on the way in. Oh,
No, he kept it in the lines. Well,
kept it in the
no,
lines
not
for a
really.
bit.
Well, he backed it out of the line.
Okay, so
I mean-
that right there happened to Troy Anderson the other in another league that I broadcast, and he stopped right there, and you had three of the leaders right behind him, and they all went around him. Every one of them got an unsafe pit exit and had the black flag, and there was no, they didn't turn it off. Oh,
Oh!
my God!
who's that? Is that Michael Smith? Is that? It's a bit like it. Look, sort of white and green.
Do you see
Ferrari
anything
in the
there? I
background?
don't even see an incident. Hamish, do you?
Yeah, that's Michael Smith. I can, no, it's a lap car. It's a lap car. I'm pretty sure.
No,
Michael
that's Michael
Caffrey. Michael
Smith there.
Caffrey. Yeah, with
he's
Michael
fine.
Caffrey ahead of him.
Oh. Well, that was a
Michael
great
Caffrey.
camera. That was an
Oh, no,
absolute-
that's different.
He served Michael Caffrey off the road.
But that's different to the spin
on.
we saw.
I'm gonna, yeah, let's, hold on, let's see what this is from a different camera angle.
What corner was the spin at?
Right here.
Oh
that
no!
was it.
Well, Caffrey was on his own.
That was it, though. That was what we saw in the background.
I'm not sure what it is.
Well, there's only one way to find out, and it's going to be long.
No.
Well, because it was behind Robbie Williams, so let Robbie do his thing here.
I've just
Oh, there-
rewound the stream. It's
there it
definitely
is.
yeah. So who's
It is
that?
not.
Is it Chris Grondon? Because Chris Grondon
Ah,
had a
that's a
slide
good shout.
Chris Grondon had a slide at Poo on just before as well. So it could be
So it
Grondon.
is Chris Grondin, and my God, he's lucky there, isn't he?
Oh,
Oh yeah. Well,
maybe.
I don't know.
Depending if the
I mean,
wind
Troy
stays
Anderson.
or
Don't.
not.
Nobody showed Troy Anderson that because he'll be livid that Chris Grondin's got away with that and he didn't.
True.
Nobody showed Troy Anderson that footage.
It's true. All right, we're back to live action now. We have chased
Well-
down all of the crazy incidents.
Well, hold on. There's still one more because Daniel Small has pitted again, and he is now fourth after stopping for 2.8 seconds. He must have
He's coming
needed
for
his
a
fast repair.
repair. He did. So I saw before he actually crossed the final corner. There's no incident to his name.
You got it, or to pull up?
No. There's no incident. So
Oh.
I'll have a look back. I'll go to when he enters pit lane,
Okay.
and then I'll just reverse it back just to see what's happened.
Well, that's
Because
a
it has not
major,
given me
a
an
major
incident.
thing because now look who's in the lead. Of course, he still has to pit, but he's got a pretty nice gap. I don't know if it's enough gap to pit for fuel, but
Well, yeah. Well, it's getting close to being that
it
way,
is
though.
getting close to be. It's probably enough to pit for a podium.
Oh. And now Small's going to be in the pit lane again because he's got a black flag.
What? Did he just hit the limit?
It's not the dream end to the season for the.
Oh, okay.
champion
I
racing.
know why. I found it. So, if you recall, a little while ago, I called out that he jumped and blew up the
Yes.
final corner.
Yes.
Well, this is why. So, if you actually bring up the second screen, this will explain why. He's had a moment at Blanchimont, and he's missed the pit entry, so he's had to do a whole lap before coming in again. So gets a wiggle, crosses straight across the circuit, taps the wall, realizes it's in the grass, so he has to put the boot into it just to get it back on the road again. Misses the entry, and I think he realizes across the lap actually how damaged the car is. As Troy Anderson's in now, by the way, so the race leader's in. So I think he did a whole lap, realized how damaged it was, and then came into pit road. So that has taken Daniel Schmall completely out of this race, knowing that he's going to have a drive-through because of that black flag as well.
So what is the black flag for?
I would assume not serving a slowdown or speeding in pit lane when he came back through.
Maybe, because it's not incident limit.
It's not incident. Okay. That's
The
interesting.
last thing I show with him regarding incidents is... Here, let me go get you back on this.
I was about to show his pit entry to see if it was as an unsafe entry.
There you go. Yeah, the last thing I show him involving the incident, he only had 5 incident points. So I doubt very seriously if he jumped to 13 that fast, or to 17 that fast.
No, I think he sped in pit lane. I reckon he sped on entry.
I mean, but it popped up as he was coming through the middle of the lap. He was about as far away from the pit lane as possible.
True.
So that's what's confusing me. That's why it's making me think it can only be incident limit, but the other data points towards that being impossible.
Did not take advantage. Well, I guess he kind of did. He took a 23-second pit stop there.
It could have been way shorter if he'd forgotten about tyres.
He was at 61 miles an hour at the start of pit lane, so his pit limiter probably didn't kick in just yet. So that might have only just counted him needing a drive-through at the end. He did have an off-track on lap 25.
Yeah, well, that's the one I saw that showed he had 5 incident points, so...
I presume the off-track was the incident itself.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is the same one that we saw earlier on, so that was the original one.
Well, Troy Anderson now is 15 seconds behind Holiday. He's still behind. Of course, Small's got to pit again.
And Holiday is only leading this race because of that incident with Philip Caffrey coming into pit lane. Otherwise,
he got an unsafe exit. So to confirm from Small, unsafe exit.
Because Robbie Williams had kind of had a moment there after that whole deal blew up on him entering pit road, but you can't blame him, to be fair. I mean, you're about to pit and all of a sudden somebody just, well, for lack of a better term, pulls some Michael Caffrey on you.
Philip Caffrey.
Oh, Philip. Was it Philip?
Don't get the wrong...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Michael. Didn't mean that. You two are brothers, though. You probably dealt with that your whole lives.
Well, indeed, yes. Michael Caffrey's not even in this race still.
Oh.
Yeah, he's currently in pit lane with a black flag. Nothing damage on his car, so...
Yeah. Well,
I mean...
What a weird way to be suddenly leading a race, Harrison Holiday. What a weird race in so many ways.
He was involved in that, too, just not near to the severity that Robbie Williams was. That's what makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Just weird in so many ways.
I wish Harrison was running his camera tonight. He's not, though.
Just to confirm as well for you, too, I don't know if you caught it before, who is in chat though, Daniel Schmall actually had an unsafe pit exit. That's why happened to him. As Troy Anderson has had a moment as well down at Puon. He's run wide, and that's actually cost him positions now too. He's now actually back behind Daniel Schmall again after that drive-through penalty for Schmall. So it's all starting to become unglued here very late in this race with only 23 minutes now to go on the clock.
Yeah, it's funny how...
Did he take tyres?
Yeah, he obviously did at that time period. 23 is exactly right where you need to be on tires.
Sorry as well, Matt Lass had a moment at the final corner. That Audi has just towed back to pit lane after a very poor spin and then very poor attempt to get it back underway again as well. So that was the incident you just saw there for Anderson. And then I'm sure what's coming up is Matt Lass's. So this is what happened to the Audi down there as well. A bad day for that. A bad set of incidents for that chassis. It must be said.
Yes.
Both the Lambo and the Audi.
No wonder
having
Amet's not
incidents one
here.
after the other.
Her presence is only here in the track map.
Yeah.
She brings clean driving to those two cars.
Well, I wouldn't go that far now. We love Amet, but I wouldn't.
True. If you watch Bite Point at Le Mans, that would tell you something different.
Clean driving is aggressive driving. I'll give her that. She's lightning fast and extremely aggressive. But look at the Martini livery. The Beaujolais running. We haven't not talked about Ryan Beaujolais much this season at all. You remember Hamish back in the beginning in season?
I know he was
good.
He was, and battling every single week with Nathan Biggett. I don't know how much Beaujolais run this season. I know he's been one of those drivers that in the past that struggles to be here for the whole season, and then that's often why he then has kind of become out of favour in terms of us speaking about him all that often, or even in terms of his performances, because they're nowhere near his best and what his previous best has been.
He definitely. You can tell he doesn't race as much right now, from what I've seen. But because I remember, I mean, like I said, he was right up there with Biggett and what was his name, the one we called Diablo or whatever.
Oh, El Diablo.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now.
Anyway,
my fault.
Yeah. But what's funny is, Small is one of those guys who can save fuel like Nathan Biggett can. By the way, Biggett was here last week, the first time we saw him all season. You were here. Never mind.
I was here last week. You wasn't
like me.
Yeah,
wasn't here last
Nathan Biggett was here last week. Does that mean anything?
Just doesn't like me, yeah. No, I don't know.
No, he's fast. He's really fast. He drives a Mustang, and he's quick.
Norman Padovani's still in the race.
Yeah.
I thought he retired, to be honest, ages ago, but he's still in. 24th
what does
now.
that say about Norman's driving? What are you trying to say? He's 24th overall.
Well, I'm saying he was way higher earlier before he had a crash.
Well, that's probably true. He's
Right,
down 13
it's definitely
spots.
true.
So,
Do you remember we saw him do that big circle to come back into pit lane again because he could barely turn
that's
left?
right. Yeah. That's right. The one I interrupted you on, and you got mad at me.
Well, wouldn't it be funny, Jim, just quickly here late in this race as well, 20 minutes to go, wouldn't it be hilarious for us, the race we were together, all three of us at the start of the season at Misano, we're together again at the end of the season here at Spa. If Harrison Holiday were to make a mistake today, and look who would be there to take advantage and take home the race win, Jed Cotterman in P2. If Jed were to go on and win this race.
Jed, we gave Jed plenty of crap about being a pro. We never said he should be a pro. We just said he should be a pro-am. But then we kind of pushed the issue and said that he should just go pro and welcome the challenge. Hey, he's third in points for the season, I believe.
Second in the race.
And he's running up front here. He's been fast this season. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he missed a race or two.
Well,
because he had some kind of power issues at his house or something where their sim room couldn't get power or something. And so,
also, well,
I mean, he's a legitimate pro. He really is.
Oh, yeah, he is. And he's leaps and bounds. He has grown over the last few seasons. To answer the question of who the driver was we were thinking of, Daniel Pino was the driver we were thinking of as well.
I miss Pino. Yeah. I really wish he was. I wish he was still around.
Yes, that'd be great to see him out on track with in and amongst this field.
Yes,
that'd be fantastic.
He would fit in well with this group, actually.
Well, Drazun as well in the chat said VR tracking was completely lost this race. Can't wait to watch the tragedy unfold tomorrow in what I would assume. Drazun in chat with us. I don't know who exactly it is. I would assume it's one of the drivers who crosses over between this race and Bite Point as well, possibly.
But, well, I hope he doesn't turn up to Bite Point tomorrow because it's...
no, I know.
Yeah, no Bite Point.
Because it's the day after. And it's not a Spa either.
And it's not this week. They're off.
And it's not this week, yeah.
So it'd be really bad. But that being said, Bite Point Racing is moving to Thursday nights next season. Just a few weeks away because they've got a couple of races to finish, like 1 week off, and then bam, they're going to Thursday nights, and they are taking the Bite Point multi-class LMP2 GT3 series to Thursday nights. So that's going to be fun.
reminds me as well, Jim, I need you to send me the calendar just to make sure that one of those dates doesn't line up with a particular important day in August, which happens to be the same day that series would get broadcasted.
Is it your birthday? Because it
is my birthday.
My birthday is on a broadcast night, and I'm going to be there to do the job, okay? Because I'm a professional.
That's true. But I'm also planning my one planned day off, my one of probably 2 planned day offs for the year.
You've already had 2 days off easily this year. I can count them.
I've had one. It was 2 weeks ago.
That festival, I don't know. I just know you went to a music festival.
That was last year.
No, that wasn't. It was some kind of festival just a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, that all aside. And by the way, here's something else that we can talk about real quick as we focus in on the last, where we at here? 15, 17 minutes. How about a sneak peek at next season's schedule?
Well, that'd be nice to know.
There you go. Look at that.
Because the schedule will more than likely be crossing over, I would assume, between the two services.
It's going to be exactly the same.
Well, these track maps, some of them are wrong.
Well, don't ignore that. Okay. I threw this together with ChatGPT with literally 5 minutes.
Okay,
5 minutes to go. Hey, the Full Throttle Nation did not provide me with a proper schedule.
Don't blame them.
So what I would say then is, Jim, send me the schedule. I'll make a calendar graphic for you for next season.
Jed's going to make one. I just made this. I threw this up so we would have something to talk about tonight. I didn't know that we were going to be talking about how crappy ChatGPT was.
I could talk about that subject for a long time. I could talk about that subject for potentially years.
I know. You hate AI. Hamish hates AI. Everybody hates AI. Don't look at the track maps if they bother you.
Okay.
It's doing things that I didn't know could be done.
There are 2 races. There are 2 races that I can see on this. Oh, sorry, no, there are 3 races. 4 races. I'm actually thinking. Jim, I want to be on this series for a good 4 races in a row. Based on some of the circuits that are on offer. I want to be there for Adelaide.
I know what you want. You want Adelaide.
I want Algarve. I want Phillip Island, and I want Bathurst.
Yes, of course you do.
I want those 4.
Well,
I want to be there for those 4.
On Thursday night, because you and Ewan are going to be broadcasting the Bite Point Racing Series on Thursday nights together here in the U.S. at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or 9:15. 9:15 Eastern Time.
I don't want to do the back panorama race if this track map looks like that.
Yeah, no, that's ruined Bathurst. It's also ruined Adelaide for me as well if it looks like that.
I try to do it.
Algarve's pretty close. Algarve's pretty close. Phillip Island looks like Donington Park for some reason.
Sorry.
Y'all are killing me here.
I couldn't resist, Jim. I couldn't resist.
I'm going back to the racing.
It's an open goal for that one. Just have to nod it in.
For you guys, and all you want to do is criticize ChatGPT. Okay? Yes,
you don't need to give us a second
chance. A lot of things.
Oh dear.
My feelings are hurt. I'm muting my mic.
Anyway, that's going to be a good laugh at least. Anyway, oh dear, just as we come back, Cole Malley's got a black flag, by the way. He's just in front of Mark Stewart in that fight for 5th place. It was a proper big group not that long ago, but Daniel Small is rather...
left.
And Cole Malley's got a black flag, and he's going to come down pit lane. I'm glad to see him back racing again, though.
Has jumped to pit lane. He's had a moment too, so his race is over as well.
Oh yeah.
And Cole is over. Yeah,
oh, this is a bad one. This is a bad one. This is the final corner.
Oh.
Yes, that is not good.
Who did he hit? Was it Michael Smith?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Michael Smith.
Oh no, who was it?
One of the other Ferraris.
Mike Anderson?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Michael Anderson.
Oh.
I'm not sure. Let me have a look.
Wait a minute. Okay, that's weird.
Or wasn't a McLaren that he does hit?
Well, yeah,
It was Mark Stewart. It was Mark Stewart. He hit Mark Stewart.
Yeah. It is a McLaren.
Oh, okay, so here it is then.
Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, let's see this from the very beginning. He looks down the inside here on the way into the chicane. It's on the outside, turns to the inside.
And
there's
unfortunate 1-2 here as well. Cole Matley actually got a 4X with no contact because of net cut as well. So Cole has actually now gone over the incident limit. He'll have to drive through pit lane, apparently, according to...
That is correct. Cole now has 19 incidents, so if he got no contact there... But let's
He doesn't
see.
have a black flag, though, interestingly.
Oh, well,
There's no black flag.
Yeah,
next
let's
to
go
his name.
see.
He served it. He's already been in and served it. Wow,
Oh, yes,
I
he
didn't
has.
get near him.
Indeed.
that was his 4X, too.
Yeah.
Clicked
Phantom
it.
4X.
Wow, man. I mean, Cole has had some incident limits situations this season for sure, and some of those were his fault, some not. I have to go out on a limb there and say that one was a bit egregious and not his fault.
No,
That's pretty bad. Let's go to our resident pinball, Eeyore Ochko. Well,
he's not been a pinball for a while.
Let's
No, he-
bully the... Just
No,
bully
no.
him in the field there, Jim.
No. Eeyore, look, there was a couple of weeks that he was an absolute pinball. He was getting hit by every car on the track. And he, a couple of weeks later, pulled it all together at Zolder and won the daggum race. So, props to him, man, because he, he had been literally a pinball the week before. I mean, he got hit by 4 or 5 different cars during the race. And the next week or two, he wins a race. It was great.
Apparently, Ehor in the rain is a show to behold. So maybe we get a rain race next season and we see how well he does in the rain.
Who gave? Oh, that's Jason Holland. Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jason Holland is giving us that information.
Yeah, well, he has nothing else to do because he's sitting in pit lane doing nothing. There
Has
he
been
is.
for an hour and 11.
He's been there the whole time just watching the race. Oh, now he's looking over because now he knows he's on camera again. Here comes, I'm fixing to get another bird finger here eventually. Oh, no, he's typing. He's typing. I'm leaving.
He's going to get in the chat with us here in a second.
Oh, yeah, he's got something to say. There.
By the way, he's one of 9 retirements from this race. Well, one starter,
he's
so 8
claimed,
retirements.
he's claimed that Jed doesn't have the balls to run in the rain, apparently. So there's been an open challenge made for us to get a rain race for next season.
Okay,
Put it
I do have
honestly,
to say this.
Calendar, if you're going to have a rain race, do it at Phillip Island. Phillip Island is fine in the rain.
Well, there's a lot of runoff
Plenty of
area at
runoff.
Phillip Island.
Plenty of runoff.
If you
Plenty of
slide
runoff.
far enough, you go into the ocean. Oh, somebody just had an incident there.
He wants us to
Clemson.
pull him into the channel, apparently. So we could pull him in for the final 10 minutes if you wanted to, Jim.
Oh, God. He's
There
going
went
to bring
enough
that
people in there
Tennessee vibe. You know how that goes. No, bring him
Yeah.
in. Pull him in.
I have.
Welcome, Mr. Tennessee.
Hey, what's going on? Let me mute my stream because that'll get there. There we go. Good afternoon.
Our evenings.
I think I'm still in the hospital from that incident earlier. So
You should be. I mean, I don't know why you
Stop
didn't
phone.
stop that car. I mean, you had so much
oh, I
time.
know, right? I saw it, and he kept floating left, and it looked like the tires were stable. And then he hit that wall. I forgot that wall was up there, and he shot across. I was not happy. Good thing y'all didn't have audio on that when it happened.
Boy, wouldn't that be fun now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't be broadcastable by the sound of it. Here's Justin Welsh, by the way, just in the race on Jordan Cox for 16th place. This is, well, in the Pro-Ams, it's for just outside the top 5, I think. Might even be, for 6th place.
5th and 6th, yeah. What's interesting is we've kind of lost our battles here. We've had good battles the whole race, but they've kind of dwindled apart here in the last few minutes.
There's been a lot of drama.
incidents.
A lot of incidents, yes. By the way,
Oh, speaking of incidents, sorry, just quickly, Philip Caffrey's taking his front end off at Blanchimont.
oh,
So that car has been into the
We haven't
wall,
seen that
and now he's
before.
driving it back to pit
it's
lane.
shocking.
Hopefully he gets through the pit lane entrance this time.
Well, he's actually
he's not
taking
gonna
his
bother
front end with
trying.
him, and he's still driving around.
He's not going to do it again.
I'm watching it now.
He had Chris Grondon behind him. So let's watch this back. So up at Blanchimont, comes through the first part. Loses the rear, straight into the wall, and then takes the front end with him.
Yeah, if you're gonna, you might as well drag it with you. It helps tire wear.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it almost reattaches.
He's still dragging it along.
He's not pitting over that little minor incident.
I mean, after his last pit stop.
Right? No, he probably shouldn't. So while we're
Well,
here,
Well, just quickly as well, Jed Cotterman
Rude
to the
on
race
that
lead. Sorry, just quickly, Jed Cotterman's gone past Harrison Holiday in the race lead.
Wow.
All right,
And that must be a mistake for Holiday, by the way, because there was at least a second between them, maybe two. So Holiday has made a mistake here, and with less than 7 minutes to go, we have got Jed Cotterman in the lead of this race. There is 3 laps to go as they cross the line here.
all right, let's get a look at that whole. Oh, here we go. Let's see. No, here we-
Holiday's coming back again in towards turn 1 as well.
Give
So
him a
this
second.
could go on to the very end, as Robbie Williams also will gain very quickly. He's only 3/4 of a second behind now, so he'll be getting a little bit of slipstream down the Kemmel Straight as they get towards Le Comte. He won't be able to get involved this time round, but he will be getting closer in the coming laps. Here is Holiday over the top of the hill, getting closer to Jed Cotterman, and with the draft he's surely going to be at least alongside, if not through, by the time they get to Le Comte. He's dragging alongside, he'll get his nose in front now, and he might well be clear by the braking zone even. He won't quite have that much, but he is just with his nose in front. Round the outside he goes, and with 3 laps to go, on the 3rd last lap indeed, Harrison Holiday retakes this lead, but Cotterman comes back and Holiday slides up straight in front of him again. He defends the inside line, he keeps the lead, but we've
Robbie
got 3
Williams
for
is
the
here.
lead in the final minutes of the season.
Yeah, look who's getting up on the back of them. Robbie Williams is right there with them as well. So I've looked back at that incident just quickly. So Harrison Holiday actually disappears out of existence and then reappears right next to Jed. So he's had a moment through the exit of Stavolo whilst he was disappeared, so we can't see the incident that he's had. But what it's done is it's cost him the 1 second gap that he had to Cotterman. And now this is a 3-way dance for the race lead with 5 minutes to go in the final race of the season here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps.
Robbie's
Wow.
4/10 quicker last lap too, so he's going to make a run.
Well, those two were
And-
battling pretty hard though, so
Well, but before that, Jim, he was catching anyway on both of them. He was quicker than them both anyway. So, I fancy that he is probably the fastest of the 3 here, based on those previous laps preceding this battle. And he did qualify the best of them by some distance. Don't forget, Cotterman was 6th, Holiday was 8th in qualifying, whereas Robbie Williams qualified right where he is right now in 3rd place, just behind Small and Troy Anderson, who are both no longer contenders for this race. Well, certainly not Anderson, but Small would need things to go very wrong to be involved himself. As they come over the line this time round, by the way, only 2 laps to go for Harrison Holiday to hold on to this.
It's getting tight. It's getting tough for them to battle away for this race lead. With only 4 minutes to go that they've just crossed the line, you'd have to argue there's only going to be about maybe 2 laps left in this race here, Ewan. So 2 laps for this battle to be decided. Robbie Williams has got to be very smart with this. Yes, he could battle for P2 with Cotterman, but as soon as he starts to battle with him, that will allow Harrison Holiday to run away. So he's got to use the Kemmel Straight to his advantage here. Get this move done easily, sneak ahead of Cotterman, and then chase down the race leader with a lap and a half left in this one. You watch him. He's going to go for it here at the inside, see if Cotterman covers.
Wow, he doesn't do it. He's scared, I suppose, of this battle for second descending into chaos, allowing a leader to get away with the race win. So he decides that helping Cotterman stay close to Holiday is in his best interests as well, and maybe it is, but he is still the 3rd of the 3 here, and that does make 2 overtakes in just a lap and a half. It does make it rather difficult.
Makes it very difficult, especially if you're going to have the confidence to go for the move, because I think he's also aware as well, Ewan, that if he gets into this with Jed, that will chew up time up to Harrison. So I think what he's playing for here is the opportunity to sneak by both of them if Jed goes for this. Knowing that there's so little left in this race, for Robbie, it's a better choice here to hang back, let the move come to you. Don't try and create the opportunity. Just put the pressure on Jed. force the pressure on him to try and make the move on Harrison, hope they come together and sneak on by them for free. I think that's the game plan right now for Robbie Williams with only one lap left in this race and they get up to the line.
I mean, it's the last race of the season. There's no way Jed doesn't go for this move.
Oh, no, he will.
None of them have incident limit issues either, so they can send it.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know that they would care. You know, it's the last race of the season. None of these guys are, it's championships, you know. So, championship be damned. They're going to go for it here.
Ooh, here comes Jed.
Very late. Very late from Jed, but he doesn't go through with it fully. And look at the line from Williams there. Really, and he's got it slightly wrong actually. He's really sliding, trying to get the power down there. And that might be the best thing possible for Harrison Holday, who sees Cotterman defending, Williams alongside him, and potentially just a fight for second here as they go on to the last lap. The white flag was waving there. There's only one lap remaining. How Williams is going to get these two places in one, I've no idea. He's got to get through maybe before Eau Rouge, but that's going to be incredibly difficult. And Cotterman's going to stay in front of him. The gap is 8/10 to the leader. Surely this is Harrison Holday's to lose now in the final lap of this race. It's not even a great run from Williams coming out of Eau Rouge and Raidillon here. So it's all going in the way of Harrison Holday now. He has just got 2/3 of a lap round Spa to hold on to the final win of this season.
Well, this is what he's going to try and do. Just keep himself cool, calm, collected. And I think Robbie knows that, again, there was no worth going for it into Les Combes, because if he went for it there, it was going to cost him too much time and Harrison was going to run away with that race win. Where instead he can allow Jed to chase him down, get up alongside him, and he might see if he can go for it into the final corner. I think that may be the game plan right now for Robbie Williams, knowing that Jed can't make a move until they get to that corner. So he's just going to let Jed pull him along.
Well, this is the fight towards the end of this race for the lead. The final race victory of this season is on the line out front. Michael Smith is comfortable in the Pram lead. He's got Michael Anderson right behind him, but he is comfortable in the Pram lead. And Mackenzie Mycord looks like he's on his way to a victory in the AM class right now as well, further back. But out front, Harrison Holday leads by just 7/10 of a second. Now 8.5 tenths, going up towards 9. The real fight is going to be the one for second between Jed Cotterman and Robbie Williams here, because Harrison Holday, in the end, is going to get this race victory. He made a mistake in this final 10 minutes on the way towards the end, as he looked like he was holding the others at arm's length. He made the error that allowed Cotterman into the fray, and it did for Williams as well, but he's going to hold them off, and Harrison Holday is going to win the final race of the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship this season in front of Cotterman, who just holds on from Williams. It's a last lap finish and the final finish of the season.
What a finish it was, and what a podium it was for those three. We've got Michael Smith coming around and up towards the final corner now as he looks to take home the final Pro-Am win of the season. In those final corners, he will take that victory to Oliver Brooks. The Sean Young Dilworth will come home inside of the top 10, further back from them to finish in P3 on that classification, as well as we ride with Mackenzie Mycord too on the main screen to watch the amateur race winner here tonight, who's just got to survive these final few corners. He's got Mark Ogier behind him. Greg Lawrence well back is not going to challenge for that win, but he is on the podium at this stage for that AM class here tonight, as the Sean will take home P3 for the Pro-Ams. And for Mycord, that's a good finish and good race for him. His teammate, it seems, Robbie Williams, did well, and this will be a good win, first win for Mackenzie here in the AM class.
Yeah, not even in the top 10 in the points, by the way, which just shows what a potentially surprise win this is for Mackenzie Mycord, who comes across the line now with only 2 seconds to spare, taking victory in the final race of this season. Ossia in the background there, 2 seconds behind, is the runner-up at one stage, was the biggest mover forward in this race. That award eventually going to Scott Petrone at the end of the final race of the season here tonight, by the way, as Ossia nevertheless celebrates with some donuts in the gravel, as will plenty of these guys at the end of the race. Herschel Lawrence still with a fair way to go before the end, but yeah, a great way to end the season with a fight to the very end like that.
Well, indeed, and what a good battle it was. And for those drivers that were looking to lock out their championships, they've done everything they needed to today to win their titles. Of course, John Swan Kyle Dersham, who wasn't even here today, and then Daniel Schmall too, as have won those championships, especially with Oliver Brooks down the order. He has not been able to challenge any sort of... Well, he finished P8 actually, so what would P8 points be worth? I'm sure Jason or yourself, Jim, you guys might know. What's P8 points worth?
I can pull it up off the website. I got you. Just give me a second.
Yeah, the final results of the season here at Spa tonight. Then the extended 90-minute race, the endurance race, or one of the endurance races of this season. First of all, in the AM class, look how close Mackenzie Merkel was to an incident penalty, by the way. 16 incidents over the course of the day. Ending up only just 2 seconds in front of Marc Ossier anyway. Greg Lawrence also on the podium. Oliver Hubbard survived that scary spin through Blanchimont and ended up finishing 4th. John Swan ended up in 5th place, but will still be crowned champion, of course. Aidan Carley was in there as well. Philip Caffrey had a big bearing on the race at the front, finished 7th in the AMS. Herschel Lawrence 8th, had a Chris Grondin, who was 2 laps down. Brian Lavrishna and James Gilpin, one didn't finish, one didn't start that race here today. In the Pro-Ams, Michael Smith takes the victory, not by a very big gap either. Oliver Brooks in 2nd place and Hassan Young-Duaf in 3rd place. Richard Silver and Justin Cornett running up the top 5. Corey Patton next. Might be... no, we'll stay 3rd, actually. Oliver Brooks will stay 2nd in the championship. Justin Welsh, Jordan Cox, Callum Cavitt and Oshko rounds out the top 10. Guillermo Sigüenza rounds out those who finished. Matt Lash, Jacob Kottman, Jason Holland and Jamie MacArthur did not finish that race in the end. And in the overall, and indeed in the pros, Harrison Holday takes a victory by just under a second in front of Jed Kottman and Robbie Williams, who he held off to the line there. Daniel Swall and Mark Stewart were also in the top 5, ahead of Mike Lanson. Cole Malley dropped a little bit down with a black flag, but would have been in that top 5 conversation as well without it. Kurt Bassler, Scott Patrone, Ryan Bursley round out the top 10 of Norman Padavani, with Troy Anderson, Michael Caffrey, and John Voight not finishing the race here today. There's a lot of them waiting for us. Let's have a chat to the overall winner, though, first of all, from tonight, Harrison Holday, who joins us now. Harrison, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Congratulations on holding on to a victory tonight against Jed Kottman and Robbie Williams, who were right on the back of you there towards the end. Tell us about those final few laps there, holding on for the win.
There's a lot to say about it. I didn't take tires, and I'm pretty sure Jed did, so he was catching very, very ever so slightly. And then I had some kind of force feedback disconnect a cord that you might have seen it. It like made me go invisible for a second and put me back right beside Jed, so I had to fight again.
How much, by the way, were those tires a factor in that run there? Because as you say, you didn't take tyres, Jade did. In fact, you were in the absolute minority there for not taking tyres, because most people in the entire field did. So how much of a disadvantage was it?
I was I was weighing my options like the whole half of the first stint. I was just going back and forth on taking tires or not, and I thought if I do take them, it's going to be scary. It's going to be a scary outlap, and that's evidenced by Schmall binning it on his outlap, taking tires. So I just played super safe. I knew I was decent on saving tires. I was at 80% after pit stop, and
what was your tire usage at the end of the race?
Oh, I have to check Garage 61. I'm sure it's below 70. I'm sure.
If it wasn't, then there was a lot of guys that made a mistake and should not have taken tires.
Yeah, it was like a lot of us were on really sketchy setups that are fast, but terrifying the first 2 laps. And it just wasn't worth that.
Well, congratulations on holding on to the win anyway here tonight from Spa. And thanks for coming to chat to us at the end of the race as well.
Thank you.
Good job, Harrison.
It's an interaction we don't normally get. Harrison Holday winning overall there. I'm going to do the champion from the pros next, although was a big factor in this race as well. Daniel Small, who joins us now. Daniel, welcome in. Good to have you with us. And congrats on a 4th place to round off the season here. How do you assess that race at the end of the season here? Obviously not a race you had to do much for the championship with it all sealed, but 2 stops in the end in that race, and that second one obviously costing you a little bit. How do you feel at the end of that race?
Yeah, that was rough. So on my out lap, I came around Blanchemont and I just lost the ass end. So I had wheel damage. I did 1 full lap with the wheel damage in order for me to assess how bad it truly was, if I could just push all the way through it and just not have to worry about it. But I was losing way too much time, so I just decided I was just going to go for a fast repair. And yeah, then after that, I got a black flag for an unsafe pit exit. I don't know how. It is what it is at the end of the day. I'm just happy I got a 4th place.
And how does it sort of round off this season as a whole for you? As I say, this race didn't have too much riding on it as far as that points lead is concerned, which is heading into tonight very large, and we've got only slightly smaller. How does it sort of round off the season for you, and how do you look back on it already?
I mean, I would definitely say that it was a blast of a season. I had to learn a bunch of new tracks that I personally never drove on before, and that was all I was doing. I was just practicing.
He's at a loss for
I guess
words.
that would be it. Yeah.
So I do have one question for you. You were obviously
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
You were obviously the favorite coming into this season. With your speed from previous seasons and who was left in the series and everything. You were obviously the odds-on favorite going into the season. Did you feel extra pressure early on through the season with that? Because it's one thing to be the guy that nobody's looking at, but it's another thing when you're the man, so to speak, and people expect those results out of you. Did that affect you in any way?
No, I wouldn't say that. The only thing that I was kind of worried about is that obviously with an open setup, most of the cars are on a much more open playing field. So it's a little bit more balanced than in a fixed setup, which obviously we all know that any GT3 fixed race right now is just the Mustang Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like that would be the only thing that I was worried about at the beginning. I didn't know how open quali was going to go because I've tried open quali before in one league, and it was just an absolute nightmare. But I got to say, it went incredibly smooth. Everything was insanely smooth all the way around. I got to thank Jed for him running a nice tight ship. He held people accountable.
Don't get his head too big.
I'm just saying though.
No, man, congratulations. You delivered a hell of a season, and it's going to be fun to watch next season. We've got a few more fast guys in here, and gals,
yeah, absolutely.
and gals for that matter when Amet runs. So so congratulations, from us, and I look forward to seeing next season with some of the improved speeds in there in your class. So it should be fun.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, I'd like to say that, thank you all to all the broadcast guys. All right. Absolutely fantastic. I got to say that.
Well, we appreciate
Thanks very
that.
much. Thanks very much.
No problem.
And thanks for chatting to us throughout the season, of course, as you have many times. And I'm sure we'll see you again next season.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
All right, man.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Daniel Small, the champion this season of the pros. If you don't mind, Jed, I know you're already in here. I'll leave you to the end for other season roundup stuff, as well as your race on your own.
You get nothing and like it.
But I'll just go around the others first, who are waiting. Michael Smith, first of all, the Pro-Am winner in this race here tonight from Spa. Michael, welcome in. Good to have you with us. 6th place overall, but more importantly, perhaps the Pro-Am victory here tonight. How was that for you in the sort of mid part of the top 10 for much of the day, getting the Pro-Am win? How was that?
It was fun. It turned into a race of attrition, really. I honestly don't know what happened to Corey, but he was leading for most of it, and then after the pit stop, it was like, oh shoot, I'm in first. It took me a while to realize it. So, yeah, chopping it up with some of the pro guys up there and everything too. It was a lot of fun.
And so many large groups as well. One large group really that you were a part of, and many large battles that you were a part of throughout a lot of that race as well. How was that around here at Spa? Because everyone knows this circuit so well. Did this race, in that sense, sort of turn out how you were expecting it to?
I think so. Yeah, it is. There's spots at Spa that if you make a mistake, you're going to lose a tenth here or there, but you're going to make it right. If you're in the draft, you can make it right back up. So it is really conducive to that close racing, and it's fun when you can race that close, knowing that everybody's good at the track and knows what they're doing, and you can trust the other competitors. It makes it very fun. Good close racing is that's what we want to do. That's what you guys want to see. So it's all great.
So I got one question for you real quick is speaking about the sponsor on your car tonight, you got autism awareness on the car. Does that have any special meaning to you, or is that just a livery you picked or whatever, or is there some special meaning behind that?
It is something that I have found out through adulthood that, obviously autism and spectrum, and it affects other people in much different ways and stuff like that.
Sure.
But, I am all about men's mental health awareness, and, I did therapy and talked to people, and it was like, hey, this is an option. And so going through that process and learning about it and learning what it means, and, how that affects your everyday life, and even in this, the sim racing and stuff too, it's been great. And so, yeah, I am a proponent of it. It's
good
to get it out there. And like I said,
I wanted to see I figured there was you had a reason you had that on your car, and we're obviously big supporters of autism awareness as well. So that's all I really wanted to get. I just wanted to make sure we got that in there real quick.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks for chatting to us, Michael. And hopefully we'll see you again next season.
I just want to do real quick. I just want to shout out to my wife for letting me do all this stuff, and 2, it was my mom's birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Mom.
Right, thanks very much, Michael Smith, winner of the Prime class here tonight from Spa here in the. I don't think we have the Pro. No, of course, Kardashian wasn't here today. In the AM class, Mackenzie Marcotte is there waiting, and we can drag in now as well. Mackenzie, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Congratulations on a class victory tonight. Heading into tonight in the AM class, you weren't even in the top 10 in terms of points, so I can't imagine many people were expecting you to take the victory. Maybe that goes for yourself as well. How did it feel to take the victory tonight?
It felt pretty incredible. I've definitely struggled throughout the season, but finally got it together and got the right practice in.
Well, what was it that came together really for you at Spa? Was it a circuit that you liked particularly, or the race unfolded in favourably? What was the key tonight?
It's not really a track I've run a whole lot. I've done one race at it previously, but leading up to the Spa 24 this weekend, just allowed me to get a lot of practice in.
Are you running the Spa 24?
I am. Team Suples, and got a couple of guys from here in the race, so should be a good time.
Yeah, well, good luck with that at the weekend. Hopefully it goes as well as this race for yourself. Congratulations on the AM victory, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
Certainly appreciate it. Just want to say thanks to the league and everyone else.
Thanks very much. This is Mackenzie Marcotte, who wins in the AM class, and the champion in the AM class is John Swan, waiting for us as well to end off the season. Oh, he's undraggable. There we go.
Did you kill John Swan?
nearly killed John Swan. John, welcome in. Good to have you with us. How was that for you tonight? Not your best race of the season. We've seen you have many great races this season. Some of the best of certainly some of the best of the Anfield. You've taken the championship there, but best of the whole field. I mean, how was that for you tonight in the McLaren at Spa? How do you feel at the end of the race?
I got bounced around a lot in the beginning, but late in the race when I took tires and came out, I tried pushing it too hard because I could see the AM leader right in front of me, and I looped it and hit the wall, and I thought I was okay, but I had too much damage head to toe.
What have you made of the? First of all, why did you switch to the McLaren, and what for this round? And what did you make of it here tonight?
I'm racing it for the 24 this weekend with Scott Patron and Ryan Beausoleil and one other guy. So we decided this was the car we're going to race. So we all tried to race tonight to use it as a feeler for the weekend.
How do you feel it goes around here? What are the characteristics for Spa for the McLaren?
It's not bad at all. It's just we got to really be careful in the first couple out laps. Once the tires are hot, it's really good. It's just the first few are a little sketchy.
Well, congratulations on a great season overall, John. Of course, the AM champion by some distance, by the way, even despite tonight's result. I think that it'd be close to 200 points. I don't think quite, but be close to 200 points. So congratulations on a great season, John.
All season as well. We appreciate that.
Absolutely, guys. It was definitely fun. I enjoy watching your broadcast every week.
Guaranteed to get you more TV time that way.
I'll remember that for next season.
You going to move up next season?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Pro-Am next season.
All right, awesome. Can't wait.
If I did the math out, I would have finished somewhere in the 4th, 5th area this season.
There you go. Yep, you might have to give up that dropping 10 spots at the start of the race strategy, though. It's harder to recover those in Pro-Am.
I just have such a hard time pushing it. Like, people jump up 4 or 5 wide, and I'm like, nope, you can go.
I mean, you won a championship, so it's hard to argue with that theory.
Exactly. I think it'd be fine, even if you're in Pro. I think it'd be fine. And by the way, just on that, by the way, you would have been 4th in the Pro Championship this season had you been a Pro, I think. So there you go. That maybe is a taste of what's to come next season. But thanks for chatting to us throughout this season, John. And we'll see you in the next one.
Absolutely, and hopefully maybe someone moves up out of Pro-Am, and I'll be contending for a podium.
That's true. Move the top 3 out of Pro-Am and you can carry on winning. Anyway, that's John Swan, the AM champion this season. Of course, Kyle Dersham, by the way, as I said earlier, the Pro-Am champion, not here tonight, so can't chat to us, but he will be the Pro-Am champion. Also joining us, but one last one before we go, Jed Cotterman has been here patiently waiting for the last 15 minutes or so. And we'll first of all chat about the race, Jed, because it came to a very exciting conclusion. In the end, not quite a season-ending race victory for you, but pretty close. How were those final few laps?
Incredible. I was having deja vu. Harrison and I are in another league on Monday nights, and we ran here at Spa. And it was the same outcome. I chased him down. He has to run a little less wing than I do. I couldn't catch him. That's all there is. I mean, at the end, I don't know if he didn't take tires. I took 4. I had a plan. I stuck to it. I was wanting to.
I did not reveal your plan on air. Probably.
No, I appreciate it. I don't care if you did. It is what it is. So I in my mind, I knew I was a little slower because I added a click of wing in the Ferrari. And I figured if I could stay close enough, I'd already be hot on my tires and they'd be cold and I could use that to my advantage. And it didn't quite work out. I don't know what happened to Anderson. I heard what happened to Schmall. But man, I'm excited. I love this track. I've probably got literally after this race 250 laps the last 3 days here. I'm the starter for Wild Ride Motorsports. We're going to do the second stint, so I'll be I'll be starting at 3 in the morning for us, and I'll do 2 or 3 stints, and then around noon I'll do another couple, and then at 9 o'clock at night I'll do a couple more. So as far as the season goes, man, I was just tickled pink. I think we averaged like 38 or 40 cars, which is just unheard of. I don't know if that's because your guys' broadcasts are just that much better than the
Of
league.
course
I
it
don't
is. It had to be what it was.
But no, man, I'm super excited. Every league has its ups and downs, and I truly feel like this season we had more ups and downs. And I'm super excited about season 3. Other than I think I only know 2 out of the 12 tracks, so I got a lot of practicing to do in the off season here. But we got 4 weeks, and I'll do what I can. A lot of it's going to depend on as Jim's about to find out. We're in hurricane season now, so these
I moved here from Texas.
Yeah, you gave up tornadoes for hurricanes, buddy.
No, I was 15 miles from the coast.
Oh, okay.
I was
guess
in the
didn't
heart
realize
of
where you were in
hurricane
Texas.
country.
All right. So all right. So you're no stranger, but Florida, we got that thumb or pinky that just sticks out there saying hit us. So we'll see what happens. But working for the power company, the weather dictates my schedule. So
Well, I know who to call if my power goes out, at least.
Yeah. We talked about that. I am responsible for your power, so I'll do my best.
I better not make you mad. It could end up bad for me.
Yeah.
Look, man, I just
Jim's
want to
calling
thank
me.
you.
Voicemail.
I want to thank you. We've been together a long time now, through all kinds of interesting stuff, to say the least. This is we're going on our, I guess, is it our 5th season?
Technically, it'll be the 4th.
4th season. Okay, yeah. I mean, I know the numbers are different, but yeah, 4 seasons together now. I mean, this has been a lot of fun, and I feel like you've been very, very good to the channel, and you brought in the Bite Point guys and introduced them to us as well. I feel like I've made a friend, and I'm certainly going to come hang out in your tent at the 24 Hours of Daytona this year coming up.
Jacob and I will be there, and then I have my own lot. I have my own lot in turn 3 at Sebring. So, just look for the American flag and the Ford Mustang
Don't
flag,
worry.
and then you'll know where we're at.
Don't worry, I'll be there for that. But anyway, I just thank you for everything, and I'm looking forward to next season. Apparently my Chat GPT schedule went really south when the track maps got looked at by somebody who actually knows. They insulted my map, even though I threw it together in literally 5 minutes.
Hamish bust our bubble.
Both of them, actually, they were laughing at me, outright laughing at me.
Somehow, Motegi has a jump in it because there's a piece of track missing on that track. There's a jump down Motegi.
Hey, it's one
I
of
didn't
those
know-
tracks, okay?
I didn't know we were racing at Minami course at Ebisu, Jim, where there's a jump on circuit. Like, I didn't realize that was
it's
gonna
that
be the case.
Australian track where you go over the bridge. I can't.
Oran Park.
Yeah, Oran Park, yes. But anyway, no, thanks. Seriously, Jed, thanks a lot. And looking forward to next season. It's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we'll hope to have the 3 of you coming back with us as well. When's the first race? October 18th or something?
No,
maybe?
it ain't that far. No, it's in August, not October.
Oh, August. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Shit, it's late.
October.
It's August.
Holy cow.
I was at work at 4
I'll be
o'clock.
2 seasons down the road by then. No, I think
August 5th
I
at
think it's
Oklahoma.
going to be more than likely. It's going to be Ewan and I next season, and then for Bite Point probably Ewan and Hamish. But so you'll still have me around. That way you get the discount broadcasting because I'm cheap. So.
Yeah, I haven't found the discount code on Groupon yet. I look.
Well, don't keep looking. Just keep searching. It won't be there. Don't worry.
You never know. Christmas
All
is right around the corner.
Well, we probably should say goodnight because this is all going on your bill.
Okay. Yeah, good night.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
one way
love
to
you,
end
miss
the
you,
evening.
bye.
And if we went another 5 minutes, we hit him right at the half hour.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I gotta go.
Well, there you go. That's the abruptest end to an interview there's ever been.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, that is just about it, to be honest. Any final thoughts, Hamish and Jim, on the end of a season, and a great way to end the season as well, by the way, with that finish between Harrison Holder, Jed Cotterman, and Robbie Williams right at the end there. Very apt way to end the season.
Well, you could have asked for a better way to end out Spa, to be honest with you. I mean, for a circuit that spreads out in a series without safety cars, we have no guarantee of bringing people back together again. So the fact that we actually did get a three-way battle at least for a few laps towards the end of that race, probably couldn't have asked for a better ending, really. I think that some of the incidents out there are obviously avoidable for the day in terms of who was involved in incidents and where they're involved in incidents, but it was still a spectacular race. And Spa, often as it always does, it struggles to give us a boring race, and it struggled to give us one today.
I would agree with all that. This place always produces something. And I thought it was great. It was great all season. It's been a great season. We've had a lot of good battles along the way, and I'm excited for next season. I'm excited for the different tracks that a lot of people don't know. Those make it a lot more fun, and plus it's we're just getting to do some new tracks, which is always a lot of fun. But yeah, been a great season. Cannot wait till next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll look forward to bringing it to you on Motor Mouth Broadcasting, of course, on those Wednesday nights coming up in August, not October, as Jed decided to say there. It's in August. Anyway, that is it for this season here from the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Challenge. There's one more look if you want to hurt yourself. 5th of August, there you go. So we'll be running right the way through to October towards the end there, so in another 12-week season. So, looking forward to that on Motor Mouth Broadcasting, of course. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Hamish Monroe and Jim Cunningham here on this final race of the season here at Spa tonight. We look forward to seeing you again in 4 weeks' time for the start of the next season. Until then, just goodbye for now.